T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man,
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Tell 'em.
exclusive. Oh,
So stop calling us.
Scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with
woo! Woo-hoo! 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 Oh shit! What is good, everybody? It's your boy MJ. Welcome back to another Trap Talk with MJ. If this is your first time tapping in, what is good? You are now tapped into the coolest motherfucking reptile podcast in the world. It is Monday. We're here to learn about some motherfucking up-and-coming breeders on this series. That's what this series is all about. Mondays is all about the new breeders on the block. Not all new breeders on the blocks are new breeders, but hey, let's figure this shit out. Either way, before we get started, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you're on top of any kind of content that I release out on this channel. I'm fucking pretty crazy with it. I do 4 podcasts a week. And yeah, if you hit that notification bell, and you subscribe, you're on top of everything. Like you don't get slept on any kind of episodes or vlogs that I drop. And then smash that like button. That like button means a lot to me, means a lot to the guests. Let the guests know that you like it, man. And just their interaction means a lot, you know. Show me that you care. But what's up with the early birds? Early birds are up and jumping right now. But before we get into the early birds, you guys know what the deal is. Freshes and Basins rodents delivered to your doorstep. Cold-blooded cafe, baby. Number one, $30 flat rate shipping. If you want to meet the fucking CEOs of Cold-blooded cafe, you got to come see Desiree Minot. She's going to be at the Pomona Super Show in attendance with Stephen Kush, baby. Oh, yeah. The Scrub King is going to be in attendance. If you want to actually meet the Scrub King, if you want to meet Cold-blooded cafe CEOs, Desiree Minot, fuck. You want to meet that team? I'm telling you right now, go to Pomona this weekend. It's going to be cracking. Shout out to Stephen. Shout out to Desiree. The whole Cold-blooded cafe team killing it, doing big things. Shout out to John, Alex, Sim Container. If you guys are really into monitors, guys, go check out Sim Containers on Instagram. And then if you guys are hatching stuff, if you're getting eggs, you need to go check out what Sim Boxes could do for you, man. Sim Containers is where it's at. It makes your job a hell of a lot easier when it comes to having to worry about humidity and all sorts of stuff. Less steps being used. I mean, no food seal wrap, none of that shit. I'm telling you right now, go check them out, simcontainer.com. They're the best. And then shout out to Ashley and Steven, Flex in Texas, all day, every day. Focus Cube Habitats, PVC built enclosures. And I'm telling you right now, this is the future right here. They're here. And they are coming out with some amazing styles, super custom. Check them out. Get yourself some Focus Cube Habitats. What up with the Freedom Breeder team? Jesse, what is good? Stainless steel racks built in the United States, the best. Cannot beat Freedom Breeder, hands down. Anyone will tell you if they got Freedom Breeder in their facility, that's for a reason. They don't lose value. They're the shit. Plain and simple. Jesse's this gangster. But yeah, shout out to Jesse. Shout out to the entire Freedom Breeder crew. Speaking of gangster, my boy Miguel Garcia, always evolving Python. Sorry about the Cowboys, man. That's all I'm going to say. And we're going to keep moving forward after that. But either way, go follow my man Miguel Garcia. He is somebody who's constantly doing groundbreaking things with his ball python projects. You never know what the fuck this guy's going to flex the next day. He honestly, like, he doesn't sleep because how much he's like just obsessed with his ball pythons, I guess. I mean, I don't know. He also does a bunch of other shit. The guy's just a fucking grinder, man. The guy does a lot. Go check him out. Shout out to the whole AEP family. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to everyone who supports the trap over there. And I love you guys so much. It means a lot to me. Shout out to the some of the newest sponsors of 2022. We got to say shout out to my boy Alan, Amazing Basins. I'm telling you right now, man, these are the select snakes when it comes to keeping. These aren't for everybody. I mean, plain and simple. Yeah, you look at it and you're like, oh, I want to get one. Oh, I'm sure I bet you do. You know, I want a fucking toilet made out of solid gold. You know what I mean? But listen, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but either way, dreams can come true. Go follow my man, Amazing Basins. Go follow Alan. Go check out his work. Go see exactly what kind of, stuff that he puts out when it comes to working with his basins. These are emerald tree boas, just so you guys know, okay? And also, Alan's working with some amazing ball pythons. He's just now starting to, leak out some of his stuff. I don't want to say too much. I'd rather you go to his page and see exactly what he's showing off when it comes to that. But I'm telling you right now, nothing's light when it comes to the ball python projects that he's working with this year. Shout out to Alan. Shout out to Amazing Basins. Appreciate the support. Pomona, baby. It is Pomona week. Who the fuck is ready? Let's go. Reptile Super Show, guys. Who is going to Pomona? Drop a fucking comment. I want to know right now. Pomona roll call. Well, I mean, we'll have a roll call Thursday night, but still, I want to know. This is the pre-party. What is good? I cannot wait to see a lot of you guys, man. I'm telling you right now, this has been 2 years in the making. Okay. Last West Coast show I ever went to that was like anywhere as far as like memorable of the shit that I've had at Tinley and stuff was Pomona. So I'm hoping this is it. Either way, guys, make it out. Let's go. Let's get together. All my trappers, you already know we're all linking up. Shit, we're going to be rolling deep. About 20 of us, at least minimum. But anyways, Reptile Super Show, thank you so much for sponsoring the trap. You guys are amazing, Rami. I appreciate you so much. All your hard work, Rami. You are doing amazing stuff with these shows. And you're the king of the West Coast, bro. So thank you so much. And I cannot wait to hang out with my boy Rami and all my Reptile Super Show family. And then shortly after Reptile Super Show, guys, NARBC. I am so fucking pumped. Pomona to Arlington, man. Let's go. I've never had a dull moment in Texas. Where's all my Texas at? Where's all my Texans, dude? We're gonna party Texas or what? Let's go. NARBC, Arlington going down second week of February. I cannot wait to see a lot of you guys there as well. So hopefully whoever doesn't, can migrate to the West Coast show, goes to Texas, and we hang out at the NARBC Arlington, man. But guys, I'm telling you right now, the North American Reptile Breeder Conference and trade shows are some of the best things you could ever do to yourself when it comes to linking and meeting people who are really passionate about being in this hobby. So I will keep preaching about that because honestly, both those shows changed my life for the better, just because I got to meet people, bunch of stuff. Okay. And yeah, man, Tinley's around the corner too. Woo! It's show season, man. But yes. All right. Real quick. USARK nonstop. Let's keep the fight. Let's keep going. Let's help Phil fucking help us out. Cause that's all he's trying to do is help us all out, man. And honestly, this fight is never going to stop. So go down to the link below, become a USARK member. If you cannot become a member, talk about it. Read up on it, man. Knowledge is power, I'm telling you. And then you could talk about it and whatnot, man. But USARK is all about helping us keep our animal rights, okay? And shit is hitting the fan, okay? Just so you guys know. And I'm not kidding. Go look at their fucking post. Go look what Jeremy talks about on his live. Why would that guy be wasting his time? He's very concerning. You know what I mean? So that being said, do what you guys can do. to help USARK, go down below, click on the link, read up on it. And yeah, man, if you guys need anything from me, shit, hit me up on Instagram. That's the best way to do that. MJ Exotics Cartel with an A, not an E. And if for whatever reason I have you blocked or something happened between us, well, you could actually have a second chance at that if you hit me up on Trap Talk with MJ podcast Instagram. Just so you know. I mean, things could, I'm just saying. Just saying. Anyways, follow me on Instagram. Hit me up. That'd be great. Shout out to my Twitch viewers. If you want to support this podcast, more than a like, more than a subscription, which by beyond me, that's all I need, guys. I fucking love that. The likes and subscriptions, all I need. But listen, a lot of you guys want to help me out. So if you want to donate anything to me, you could do that to PayPal, Exotics Cartel. And then I send any donations over to USARK, just like the super chat. So if you have a question for my man Abe tonight, that you're itching to get out or whatnot, drop a super chat and I will ask that question 110%. Okay. And then I want to say special shout out to all my Patreon members. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are my hat. But yeah, if you out there are new to this hobby or new to keeping reptiles, or you've been keeping reptiles for a while and you just want to not be a hermit or not be fucking, selfish or whatever. If you want to just meet people, like fucking down to earth people, go to the link below, click on the Trap Patreon family link, join the Patreon family. I don't even charge you for the first 30 days, okay? So you could actually see exactly what it's all about. We have a Discord that's 24/7. It's jumping off. Trust me, even I wake up at 2:30 a.m. I'll be dropping pics and shit, all weird. Sorry, not like weird pics, but like, like snake-related stuff or whatever. But yeah, man, I'm telling you right now, I love it. Honestly, I can't believe that I was able to create something where even me, I mean, I love jumping into my Discord and seeing what's going on in there. But either way, if you're out there reaching for more, if you want more out of this, more than the podcast, if you want to actually connect with people, and I'm telling you right now, down to earth people, that's what the Trap family is. Go down to the link below, click on the Trap Talk Patreon family, come join, hang out with us. We get together every Sunday after the Monitor podcasts, and yeah, shout out to my trappers. We will be rocking all these shirts together because trapping is a sport. All right, what is good with all my early birds? Dude, early birds is cracking. Why are Mondays just jumping? Or is it Abe? I think it's Abe. I think everyone's here for Abe right now. But what is good with my early birds? What's up, everyone? What's up, MJ? That's my boy Matthew, Evolution Exotics. Really on his shit with his chondros, man. And he's also dabbling with some ball pythons. I have a really good feeling about my man Matt. Make sure you'll give him a follow on Instagram. He's the homie, and he's Patreon Trap family all day, every day. What is good? Will's hella heat. What is good? Thanks for tapping in. Jacob, what is good? What's good, Trap fam? Let's go. Love this new breeder series. Jason has some series. His name's Abe, bro. He doesn't go by Jason. Abe has some serious heat. Don't forget to smash that like. Thank you, Jacob. I take back that yell at just at you. What's up, homegirl? Pacific Rim Serpents in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member. What is good? Denton, what is good? Denton, thanks for tapping in. High as balls. I feel you, bro. Thanks for tapping in. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Eric's More Factory. What is good? Thanks for tapping in. Elite Exotics PB. What is good, bro? I've seen you tap in a lot. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate that. HB Reptiles. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. And all right, listen. All right, RCR Mafia. That's a hard mafia to claim. That's one Patreon page you could drop on this live feed, because Will is gangster as fuck, and I'm kind of like we're connected together. So you're good. You got a hard pass on that. Luke, what is good? Luke, thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you. Yeah, man. Let's see who else is in here. We got shit. No, there's more people. Let's see. Damn, it's a lot of the same people. Oh, here we go. We got Lizard Morphs. What's up, Lizard Morphs? Thanks for tapping in. And let's see. We got the homie Barbara J in the building. What's up, Barbara J? Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you. We got Black Sun Reptiles in the building. The homie Marlon Chondro Boy in the building. Hashtag Chondro Boy. Exotics Keeper Vision. What is good, bro? Thanks for tapping in. Got the homegirl Roar Exotics in the building. Damn, we got some hitters. And we got the homie Matt Summers. We're gonna end it on my boy Matt Summers, because Matt Summers, Abe, and I all have something in common, which we're going to talk about later on in the podcast. But Matt Summers is my ride or die. It's my boy right there. Go give him a follow. One of the most down-earth, one of the most sickest motherfuckers I've gotten to meet in this hobby. And I don't mean that just because he's my travel manager, but I'm telling you right now, this is my boy. He has a YouTube channel. He's consistent with it. He's passionate with it. He's fucking on his shit. And that's my boy, Matt Summer, Reptiles. Go give him a follow on Instagram. Hit him up on YouTube. And let him know that your boy MJ sent you. All right, guys, New Breeder on the Block series. You know what's funny about this is, as I'm reaching out to people and asking them, hey, listen, I got this series. People are excited, but as you kind of dig through the surface, you find out not every new breeder is really a new breeder. Some of these motherfuckers been keeping for a while. And that's what I want to know. Let's find out, like, what's going on. We have people like Antoine, who was in this in 2010, dipped out, came back, and reinvented himself, So that's kind of, you can understand 10 years ago was a different time, that's whole different. Like if you were breeding in 2005 to like 2012, 14 or whatever, and then you come back into this and you think, well, I have all this experience and I got this. No, motherfucker, it's a different. I mean, you may still have sick shit, but you got the marketing, you got the fucking people connection. You know what I mean? There's so many things involved with all this shit. So we're going to talk about tonight. We got my boy tapping in from Chicago. And I got to tell you right now, my boy Abe, another down-to-earth motherfucker. When I got to meet him at Tinley, he just had an MJ pack ready for me, okay? And that MJ pack got me lit the entire fucking time. But that's my boy right here, Abe, Exotic Reptiles. What is good, my man?
Hey, what's up, MJ? How you doing, man?
I'm stoked you're here. What is good?
I'm excited to be here, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
Yep, awesome. How's everything on your end, bro?
I'm in Chicago, man. It's fucking cold. It's 24 degrees today, not like you where you can walk outside in your slides and shorts and chill. I got 4 months until I can wear shorts. It's ridiculous.
Hey, dude, so I'm getting really bad staticky when you're talking, so we're gonna have to, I knew that would probably happen, so let's kill the, turn these off if you don't mind.
Gotcha.
It should work.
All right.
Let's see. I don't know if you guys heard it, but I heard it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, just kill the Bluetooth. Good? You there?
Yeah, man. I got you.
All right, perfect. Anyways.
Sound okay?
Yep. Okay, so, dude, Chicago, it's cold as shit right now over where you're at right now, right?
Dude, it's crazy. It's freezing. I mean, it was 0 for like 4 days last week. Today's 25. Today's 25, and it feels warm. It's like crazy, man. But you know what? I grew up here, and I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. I got to be honest with you. Born and raised Chicago, but man, once my kids are out and leave for college, my wife and I are out. We're done, man. Chicago's great place to live, great place to raise a family, but it's not where I want to be for the rest of my life, man. It's too cold. I'm going to be up by you. My dad just got a place in Marietta.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that's right by Matt. Matt's right by Marietta.
Matt was telling me, yeah. He said he was like 15 minutes from where my dad just bought a new place. I went out there with my dad like a month ago just to go scope it out with him. He just retired, so he's about to retire and move out there full time. He lives here in Chicago too, and I went out there with him to go see the place, basically go set it up, and it's crazy, man. It's sick. I was out there for only 3 days. I didn't get to see much, but man, I can't wait until he's out there full time and I can just be out there whenever,
So what would be the move then? Once your kids are good to go and they move out, where would you and the wife go? Have you guys discussed that?
Yeah, we've discussed it. It's a tough call. We've traveled the United States quite a bit. We've driven a lot. We've camped a lot. We like to camp, and we did a road trip once for 8 weeks where we traveled the entire United States. Like, we quit our jobs, man. So when we were like 20, I was like 21 or 22, and my wife, girlfriend at the time, she was like 23, and basically we quit our jobs, man, and we bought a camper, hooked it up to the back of my truck, and we cruised the United States for 8 weeks and did like every national park out west. We didn't go east, so we left Chicago and basically headed west. We didn't go east at all. So, Black Hills, Badlands, up into Idaho, up into like Seattle area, came down the coast of California, Redwood Forest, went to Vegas, Zion National Park. Dude, we went to everything you could do for 8 weeks. We did it, man, and it was the trip of a lifetime. I came home. That was in 1996, man, and I came home after that trip, and we were home for 2 days. Hopped on a flight and went to Orlando because we were going to a reptile show in Orlando, man. I mean, the reptile shows before they switched them to Daytona, they used to be in Orlando. I think I went to the last Orlando reptile show.
If you pay close attention, in the live chats, like you have people like Josh from Royal, like Jay Royals and shit, and he will throw out Orlando and shit. Orlando was the OG show, like that was the before pre Daytona. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so where
Good.
motherfuckers they're getting hammered and shit. Like it was like a party. Like it was like a party, bro.
It really was. Now I was there with my girlfriend, and we were there for a week, just kind of chilling and hanging out and kind of partying. And then we went the last day of our vacation. We went to the Reptile show, and I'll tell you a story about that when we get into that point of this conversation. But I got some good stuff to tell you about that trip, man. It was crazy.
Okay, so obviously, Abe, you're talking about Reptile Show '96. So your involvement with these reptiles go way before than just the most recent outcoming that you've had, right? So let's take us back. Like what was your introduction with reptiles? As far as on a not really a business level, but on a breeding level.
On a breeding level, I mean, that year, 1996. That's when it all kind of fired up for me. Actually, 95, right in there was when I started kind of buying animals, and I was really kind of growing a collection. Now, I had no ball pythons. When I first got started, I had Burmese, all boas, a bunch of red-tail boas, Suriname red-tail boas, Guyana red-tail boa, Dumerals boas, D'Albert's pythons, like white lip, like you got, Brazilian and Colombian rainbow boas. What else did I have? Dude, I had little of everything except ball pythons, just big boas and berms. And I had them for 2 or 3 years until my wife and my girlfriend at that time we got engaged. And once we got engaged, I was a little freaked out about like moving in with her and starting this new life and this new everything, with a bedroom full of Burmese pythons. I was like, fuck. Like we had a little 2-bedroom place we just got in the extra bedroom. It just couldn't be a reptile room, man. I couldn't make it work. So I sold everything off. I got rid of everything. I sold a bunch of berms, bunch of red tails, everything I had. I didn't keep a single animal. And dude, it was crushing. I cried, man. I remember crying like as I was selling these animals to guys, handing them off in parking lots. And I sold a lot of them at a local show. There used to be a show back in, they still have this show in the Chicagoland area, but 25 years ago, it was called Lee Watson's Reptile Swap. And Lee Watson was this dude. He had this like barn in Streamwood, Illinois. And that's where it all kind of got started for me. This dude set up a barn, and basically you could rent tables from him back then for, I think, like $40 a table. And you could sell and you could vend. And that's where I started going to get introduced to the animals I was buying. So the boas, the red-tail boas, and the berms I all bought at this Lee Watson's Reptile Swap, which has since switched. It's in a different location now, and it's called Scott Smith's All Animal Expo, I think it's called now. Scott Smith. He's like the former wrestler guy. He's in Chicago, and he's like 7 feet tall. You know him if you've seen him. But Scott Smith's All Animal Expo is what Lee Watson's Reptile Swap became. So I got all these animals back then, and that's where I ended up selling them too. So I sold them. Moved in with my wife, started my life, started my job, started my career, and, we moved from that house a couple years later, started having kids, and 15 years went by, man. I had no reptiles, none the whole time. But I was still watching, I was still watching what was going on. Like I was still hitting like fauna classifieds, and I was still hitting like ballpythons.net. And I was still, before there was Morph Mark and shit, you had other options. You had Reptiles magazine is what you had back in the day.
Right.
But, there really wasn't an internet presence for all this shit, So,
Abe, let me ask you. So you went ahead and sold the animals. What year? What year was this when you sold, your last animal? What year was that? If you could recall.
I think like 98.
So 1998, right?
Yeah, 98 is kind of when I sold everything.
So 98, and then we go up to what year when you're looking into ball pythons, and what exactly made you want to look into ball pythons, if we could kind of get into that.
So it wasn't just ball pythons, it was reptiles in general, so got married, moved. It was about 5 years, I guess, man, to answer your question. It was about 5 years in between when I sold to when I started kind of looking again, because I never lost that itch, man. Once you're a reptile person,
exactly,
that's in your blood for life, man. So
100%.
Yeah, it never left me. So 5 years later, I started looking online. The internet was becoming a thing back then. Ralph Davis was online, so people had websites. Ralph Davis, I guess, to answer your question, is what got me going with ball pythons. Like I was looking at getting more boas and more berms again, but then I started seeing ball pythons, and I was like, man, these things don't eat rabbits. Like, I don't have to find rabbits to fucking feed them. I'm interested in that, you know? So, dude, I started buying ball pythons, and, well, I shouldn't say buying. I started like researching them. I started looking. And back then there were no morphs, dude. There were like 5 morphs in ball pythons. You know, there was nothing. There was albinos. I think there were spiders, and I think tides. You know, I think those were like the 3 mutations that existed at that point. But yeah, man. So I kept just looking. I was always looking at the websites to see what new morphs were popping out. As new stuff was popping over the last like 10 years, I really couldn't take it anymore. And I finally said, fuck it. And I turned to my wife and I said, hey, I'm taking that extra bedroom. I'm turning it into a reptile room, and I'm going to start doing this. And she's like, cool, whatever you want to do. Like, my wife's awesome. She's super supportive, and we had an extra bedroom. So I just jumped right in, man. I went to Tinley in 2015. So that's when I got back in. So from like 98 to 2015, no reptiles, nothing, but I was watching everything the whole way through and keeping my eye on morphs and just checking out everything, you know. And
so 2015 was your first ball python purchase?
Yeah, 2015 was when I jumped back in, you know.
And who was it from? What was your first pick?
Tom Harbin. It was from Tom Harbin.
Dude from down south, right?
Yeah, he's a great dude. I love him, man. And
I heard a lot of good things about that guy.
He's the best, man. He's got this southern charm about him. He's just a very nice guy. He's warm and welcoming, and that's why we bought a snake from him that day. I'll be honest with you, man. Like we were at Tinley, we were walking around, and you know, you're in a room with thousands of snakes, and I'm with my son, and you know, me, I'm looking to just get a snake into the house. I really didn't care what it was, you know, but my son, I said, you know, you can choose the color and the pattern. You figure out. Now, at that point, I wasn't looking at hets. I wasn't looking at the mutations. I was just looking for a badass ball python for my son, you know, for him and I to kind of start doing something together also. So we get to Tom's heart, you know, table, and my son finds a snake and he falls in love with it. It was a pastel lesser, you know, that's it. It happened to be head clown too. It was a head clown, but it was a pastel lesser. We bought it that day. It was $250 in 2015. Tom was so cool, you know, and he was so nice to my son. And he was just explaining everything to my son. I made him super comfortable. And that was it, man. I went home that day in 2015 with a ball python for my son. And a year later, I had like 50. You know, like, you know, it was that quick. You know, suddenly I realized that there was something about coming home after my day job of sitting at a desk, sitting in front of a fucking computer and walking into my snake room, throwing on some Slayer and decompressing my day by cleaning snake shit. As crazy as that is, like, dude, there's something to me. And still to this day, like after doing this for 7 years straight since then, every day I come home, I take my shoes off, I go up into my snake room, I flip on the tunes, I put on some rubber gloves, and I start cleaning, and I love it. It helps me, like, dude, it helps me flip the switch off from my day job and let me flip the switch on to be with my family and do my nighttime thing with my family, you know? So I go in there for 30, 40 minutes, I decompress, I come out, and I'm good to go, man. I'm ready to chill with the family, hang out, do my thing, and I'm not thinking about work anymore, and now I'm ready to roll, you know?
I love the fact that you rely on stuff that most people in this hobby who've been doing it as long as you look at it as work, but it's not work to you. Like, this is like it's a gateway out of your reality of, because dude, 9 to 5s not easy to keep. They're hard. Like, and I don't care how good you are at being a fucking dick sucker or a brown noser. It's really actually the better you are, I'm sure the more draining it is, to be honest. But I'm just saying, like, it's not easy. And I give a lot of people, like, when I talk to people and they're like, yeah, I've had like 200 clutches this year, and I go to work and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how are, like, and they're just driven. They're just so they're devoted to just keeping that 9 to 5 for as long as they can, and you know, still do what they do. And I tip my hat to that. That is amazing stuff. But what I love what you just said though is, like, literally what pushes you through is just being in that room. And because you know why? You know what, and this is just my guess, Abe, you are probably thinking so down the future with these snakes already, and it probably gets you so excited. Like, you're probably at a point where you waited so long to get to these ball pythons, and as you're, you know, once you, the hardest thing about this is the waiting. You got to admit, the patient part is the hardest thing. But once you climb that hill and clutches start coming, the whole waiting thing is really, it just gets less and less and less and less. And you're just more accepting on what comes and what doesn't come. And that's just how it is. You know what I mean? But dude, I just love the fact that you say that, because you should not have to be dreading to go into your snake room. Like, you should not have to be like, fuck, like I gotta do waters, or I got like, fuck, I love doing waters. Like bro, honestly, you know what's funny that you say that about the music? You know me, like sometimes I'm in a position where I don't sleep a lot. Like I'll go to bed at like 8:30 and I'll wake up at like 3 in the morning, and I'll just be like, I better go check something I wake up and I'm like, go to the trap. Something's in there. And I'm like, all right. And I get up. But what's funny is like, when I realize I have chores, I kind of like, I'm dragging ass. And then I'm like, what the fuck? I put some Slipknot on, or I'll put some music on. And I just like, my heart starts racing. I don't know what it is, but
I love it.
Like music you love and reptiles just go together. And then obviously a dab and, you know, some coffee, but like, like you're just like, let's go. And then you're doing like 3 hours of work, which feels like 30 minutes. You know, you're just killing it. You gotta find what makes it good, like make it fun, you know, because this is all fun, you know.
Definitely, man. I look forward to it. As I'm driving home from work, you know, I'm thinking about getting home and getting in the snake room and what I have to do. And I'm usually driving home from work talking to somebody in this reptile community about snakes. Like, I like to talk to people on the phone while I'm in the car, you know, makes the drive go by quick. So I'm either listening to a podcast in the car or talking to somebody. But dude, I look forward to getting home. I truly do, because I know what I get to come home to. And it's something I love, and it's not my day job that I don't love. You know what I mean? And I know I can go in there, knock out my shit for an hour, change, go to the gym, you know, hang out at the gym for an hour, come home, and then I'm done, man. By 7, 8 p.m., I'm done. I'm chilling, and I got a few hours to relax with the family, man. So it works out great.
All right, so I have to ask you, Abe, you know, the fact that you weren't into ball pythons in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Now that you got into ball pythons, you know, you had any crazy learning curves or anything that you could kind of talk to us about that you kind of struggle with maybe in the beginning? It could either be pairing or just eating or like whatever. I mean, like anything that you could think of that you had to learn, you know, or
dude, like, so going back 25 years, you know, I kept all the boas and berms. They were all kept in these big handmade enclosures that I built. You know, they were made of plywood and plexiglass doors that I built, you know, so they were on basically either AstroTurf or newspaper. So I guess the big adjustment for me to answer your question, man, was substrate. That was the first thing. Like, I was, you know, all of a sudden people are talking about this coconut and this Reptichip and this Pro Coco and all these options. And some people are on this liner that they put in their tubs, and some people are doing paper. Some people are doing this unprinted newspaper. There's like 20 different things. So that was one thing, I guess, to answer your question. I was like, all right, you know, well, what's the deal? What is everybody using now? And I noticed, you know, depends on where people live. Some people don't want to fuck with the coconut, you know, because it's a lot of work. Right. Some people don't want to deal with the paper or the paper towels because it leaves a lot of smell in the room. You know what I mean? So to me, I guess one of the things that was different from when I left the hobby and coming back in was substrate. You know, suddenly there was a million options, you know, and I just had newspaper back in the day. So, yeah, man, pretty crazy. But
do you see who's in the building right now, bro? Like, are you witnessing this? Like, you realize like you have Chicago legends right here in the building, Straight File Reptiles, to watch Abe Exotics. This is huge. I'm sorry, man. Whenever they're in the building, I get excited.
Nice.
I'm telling you right now. So listen, Abe, I gotta talk to you.
Yeah.
Did you ever hit a mite problem with the ball pythons at all? Like, did you ever, and you can, like, listen, keep it 100, you know, I sure did, but like, did you ever hit like a mite problem, like a learning curve with the mites at all that you had to fucking figure out and, you know, figure it out and get rid of them?
I did, but it wasn't in the last 7 years with my ball pythons. It was 25 years ago with my boas, bro. Dude,
respect. Okay.
I mean, I gotta tell you, dude, when you get boas and they get mites and they're big and strong, and your berms get mites and they're big and strong, dude, that's a learning curve right there, man. Like, it was tough. You know, I got mites in my collection 25 years ago. I had 15 snakes at that point. Pretty much everything got mites. And man, so I learned a lot back then, what not to do now. That's what I guess a lot of the experience I brought from the boas and berms years ago translated immediately to ball pythons. It really did. Right. Illnesses are the same, mites are the same, diseases are pretty much the same. There's some other stuff with boas, but overall, a lot of the stuff from the boas and berms years ago just translated right over. But yeah, man, I had mites. I dealt with it, you know, back in the day. You know, I remember hanging this no pest strip. You know that stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I got my people who are on my ass about it because I use it, and honestly, like I do know there is, like, if you have a serious problem with mites and you do treat everything in that room and you bust out those no pest strips, those mites are gone. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But you know, I just don't, you know, I do know once you go so long without mites and you're really clean and you use Prevenamite, you don't really need the no pest strips after so long. Yeah. And you know, I don't know. I mean, listen, I know motherfuckers who've used it for years. They didn't have any snakes that died. And I just had a homie come over who's like, hey, dude, I got to tell you about these no pest strips. I had this snake die and this snake's die. And I'm just like, dude, but like, you're one out of like, I don't know how many people that are telling me this, but you don't even really know that the no pest strip killed your snake. Like, you don't know if there was something else. Like, I'm telling you, like, why would I be going this long using no pest strips? And I've never had one snake roll on me like that. Like, I don't know. But like I said, either way,
that shit is so toxic, though. Those no pest strips. I mean, I remember if I think about a no pest strip, I can smell it right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a chemical, a thick chemical, toxic. And dude, I had this shit all over my snake room, you know, whenever that was, 25 years ago, which was right next to where I slept. So I think about the fact that I slept next to all this no pest strip forever. Like, that shit is so toxic. You're not even allowed to buy it in like 20 states. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. But you know, back then it was just a matter of removing all substrate, bleaching everything out, putting everything on paper, and just keeping an eye on everything, you know. But no, man, I'm thankful I haven't had it, you know, since I've jumped back in, you know, 7 years ago. No, I've had nothing crazy like that happen since I got back in. I got to be honest, like nothing, no infestations, nothing got into my collection. I'm crazy about quarantining. You know, my snake room is upstairs in my house here. I have a quarantine downstairs here in the back room, right through that door right there. I got a little rack in that room, and everything goes into that room for 2 months immediately from the point I get it home, quarantine, then it goes up into my room because, dude, I hear it all the time. There's too much to risk, man, and people don't quarantine. People don't fucking quarantine. I don't understand why. People will bring a snake home and throw it right into a rack with thousands of dollars worth of animals, and I can't wrap my head around that. To me, it's crazy. It's only a matter of time until you get bit. It is.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it's just like once you have so much invested in something that's already doing good, it makes the most sense in the world to just be precaution and put this snake in a different room for 2-3 months. You know, just make sure it's good.
I get it though. Everybody can't do it. You know, everybody doesn't have the resources to do it.
They don't have so many snakes. If you can't do it, then don't have so many snakes. Don't be a fucking hoarder.
Room to do it, or they don't have an extra rack.
People quarantine in their bathroom. People figure it out. Fucking Socrates quarantines in his damn bedroom. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna have shit and you want to prolong the health for the animals, you have to quarantine shit. Otherwise, you're like you said, you're gonna get bit in the ass. You're literally it's playing Russian roulette. I'm telling you right now. You know, but like honestly, like I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like I just don't know, man. I feel like the only reason why I had to deal with mites in my first couple years is because I was adding so many imports. Like I had and you know, I technically have a quarantine room, but it's still in the trap. It's in the same building. It's just in the washroom. Like you walk into my trap, there's everything, and then there's another room with the washer and dryer, you know, and that's where I keep things. But still, like I would still treat everything in the main table in the main room. You know, like I would still bring it in and out. So I just was dealing with mites as every time I was fucking, you know, adding new shit. And as soon as I stopped adding imports and I stopped adding shit, like I haven't had a mite in over 2 years. It's been a long time since I've had a mite. But it's also like, you know, reminding me why maybe I should just go ahead and wipe everything down now with Prevenamite and kind of just cut the no pest strips, you know, because I don't know, at the end of the day, people are just reaching out as concerned, you know, they're just concerned, you know, and I get it, you know. And you know, my wife doesn't like them either. So either way. But listen, okay, so right now with what's going on in your collection, how many clutches are you at right now a year? What's going on with your production? So
like I said, I jumped back in 2015. I bred for the first time 3 years ago. So this will be my, I guess, 4th season upcoming here. Last year, I only had 6 clutches. This year, I might have 10 or 12. I try to keep it small. Like, I'm not, I don't have a ton of space here. I do it in a spare bedroom in my house. And, I am going to move this thing down into my basement so I can kind of expand and build it out. Like I'm going to build a true room and do it the way I want to. But right now, I only got 60 snakes and about 45 females, 10 males, and a few holdbacks from this year. But I'm trying to keep it small. I guess, I look at like Levance, I look at like Ozzy, they keep it smaller and definitely more controlled, their collections, but they try to keep it a little more high end. And I guess that's what I'm trying to do too. I'm trying to keep it in check and want to roll with, I guess, boutique style kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
I remember there was people in the beginning like trying to sell me. Like I remember I would inquire about one snake and they would try to sell me like a group and like, oh, here, like you could have like 6 of these. And I'm like, I'm like, wow, that's kind of like I would process it, but I'm like, I don't want to breed that many snakes. Like I don't want to breed like I'm not trying to become a wholesaler,
No, I'm not trying to become Justin. Like I'm not out here to become the next Justin. I'm really not. Like I can truthfully tell you that. Like a lot of people, are saying, man, I'd love to quit my day job and be a reptile breeder. Well, yeah, man, I'd love to quit my day job, but my day job provides me amazing insurance, a big fat paycheck, and takes care of me and my family. My reptile business doesn't. My reptile business is new. It's just getting going, and maybe someday it can. But you know what? I've got a good job, and I don't plan on leaving it for the reptiles unless the reptiles are just doing such crazy things that I can just walk away from the day job and be done. But I don't see that happening, and I'm cool with that. All
right, role play situation. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, pick up the phone.
What's up?
Hi, Abe. This is Justin Gabelka. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. What's up?
I'm gonna send you a $30,000 Pompeii DJ. It's coming to your house. Okay, it's on your way. Ready? Okay. So that snake comes the next day. Do you quarantine that snake?
Yes.
So you quarantine Justin Gabelka snakes.
I quarantine any snake, anything, dude. You have to, because you don't know. Like, I mean, what if the snake gets held up in shipping and is sitting out, in bad temperatures for a couple days? It picks something up. You bring it home. You don't even know it. It could have a mild respiratory infection or something crazy. You throw that into your room. Boom.
Dude, that's so fucking true. You have no idea. Like that's why this is what really bothers me when it comes to like buying a snake from somebody and want the breeder and as soon as that box like leaves the hands of the breeder and it goes into FedEx and it goes on a truck and it does all that and it comes up with mites and it comes up with RI, you can't immediately just go bash on the breeder. You know what I mean? Like, because you got to understand there's so many fucking things that could happen. Now, give or take, if this breeder has a constant fucking if all his shit's coming in like that, well, then fucking okay. Well, there you go. He's obviously he's a habitual fucking miter. But I'm just saying, there's some people out there. Like I've had stories. You understand? Abe. I meet a lot of big people in this game, right? Yeah. And then other big people know I know certain big people, and they'll tell me stories like, oh, there was a issue one time where I got a snake from him and ended up having mites. But I'm thinking like, so what? Treat the fucking snakes, get the mites out. You know what I mean? And honestly, if you feel a certain way, never buy a snake from that person ever again. Keep it moving.
Truth, man. And you know what? And it doesn't matter if it's Justin or if I'm buying from some dude down the street who I've never met, who's brand new in the game. The same rules are going to apply. Like, I don't know where that snake has been. I know at Justin's, it's in a clean facility that's well maintained, shit's taken care of over there. But the bottom line is, once that snake is put in a box and shipped, anything could happen. It could get sick, so it has nothing to do with whether it's Justin or anybody else. Same rules apply for me, man. It gets quarantined. They have to.
How many times have you been at Justin's place?
Just once.
Amazing, right?
Crazy, man. Totally crazy.
When did you go? Did you go with the Patreon VIP trip?
No. I went last year. I went in March. I had, I've been talking to Justin. So when I first got back into ball pythons, I guess in 2015, one of the first people I started talking to was Justin, and I bought a few snakes. So I bought that one from Tom Harbin, and within that next year, I started buying, and a bunch of them were from Justin. So I got to know him. This was right about at the Batman time, right before the Batman went big time. You know what I mean? So Justin wasn't like, he was huge, but he wasn't where he is today. You know what I mean? And so I started buying some stuff from him and talking to him quite a bit. And I asked him, you know what I mean? I asked him like 2 years ago, I'm like, dude, you know what? I would love to come out to your place. I would love to come out and learn. I'd like to see how you do shit. I'd like to see how your operation runs. I asked him, I invited myself. Like, he didn't say, hey, bro, come check out my facility. I was just like, you know what? If I don't ever ask, I'm going to wish I would have. So I said, fuck it, and I just put the fear aside and I asked him, and him and I wouldn't say that we were that close. You know what I mean? Like, Justin and I are friends, and I bought a bunch of stuff from him, but we're business acquaintances, but we're friendly too.
That's my boy.
I just said, hey, can I come check everything out? Can I come spend a day or two out there? And he's like, yeah, man, absolutely. So, and it's funny, what he said to me was, nobody ever asks. Nobody ever asked to come out by me. You know what I mean? Because people are scared, I think, to ask. And now he has this Patreon thing where he invites people out like that are in his Patreon and this and that, and they can come see the facility. But no, this was before all that started. I went with two buddies of mine. I went with Brian from Mjexotics.
That dude's cool.
Yeah, he's real cool, man. And then I went with another dude, Adam, a buddy of mine from New York, Adam from Morphs by Design. Levance knows him. He's a real good friend of mine. He's a good dude. And I bought a snake from him like 5 years ago, a spot nose clown, I think about 4 or 5 years ago. And then him and I got to talking. We became buds, So I called those two guys, said, hey, I'm going to Justin's. You guys want to come with me? Like, I need some people to help me split the cost of the hotel and all this and that, offset the cost and everything. And just to not be alone. Like, I didn't want to have to go back to the hotel at night and be by myself or, whatever.
Did you stay at the Holiday Inn or the one that's right there by his house? I forget which hotel was it? It was a nice one, but it was fucking expensive.
It was expensive. It was nice.
$200 a night, and I was like, "Where were we, downtown San Diego?" I was like,
I don't even remember which hotel it was, man. I'll be honest with you.
It was cool.
Like a 15-20 minute drive to his house from the hotel. I remember.
Right.
Hey,
hold on. Hey, real quick. This episode's going way too fire to where we need to get the likes up. I'm sorry, guys. If you're just now tuning in, I appreciate you guys tapping in, but do me a favor and the homie Abe a favor. Let's get the likes up for the big dog right now because he's killing it, and we still have a lot more to talk about and cover. So again, if you're just tapping in, make sure you tap that like button, okay? And let's pick that up. But anyways, let's continue, Abe. So yeah, that hotel, I'm telling you right now. So that hotel it wasn't cheap, but honestly made it all worth it. I'll tell you that right now.
It was, and so it was cool because Brian, I think he's from Maryland, from Basins. So he flew in. Adam flew in the next day. So I was with Brian basically a majority of the time for the 2.5 days. And it was awesome, man. Like, we hung out and went to Justin's place for 2 days, which was really cool. We went there one day to watch him like feed and watch his processes and just kind of ask some questions. And then we went back the next day and Justin shot a video, like a YouTube video for his channel, and he asked us to be in it, which was kind of cool. So we did some filming with him. I did an interview with him. I interviewed Justin. I don't know if you saw, I did like a funny interview with Justin on my YouTube channel. And I asked him like weird questions that I was like, you know what? Everybody always sits down with Justin asking the same shit, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to bore.
Hey, what are you trying to say, bro? Whoa.
You ask good questions, dude. I loved your interview. Your interview was solid with him. I loved it.
I'll show you the reviews on that episode, my man.
Dude, it was great. No, your episode with him was awesome. Like your interview, I loved what you did because you did kind of what I did, man. You asked different questions, like the off the beaten path shit. You didn't say, hey, what's your most anticipated clutch of the year and how many clutches are you going to have? Like, Justin doesn't want to hear that shit. I mean, so I asked him fun questions, I asked him stuff that I'm sure he's never been asked. I asked him why the team he loves, the Atlanta Falcons. I asked him why they suck. I was like busting his balls, you know what I mean? And it was fun.
Dude, but he's such a he will go with it. That's why I love Justin. Like he appreciates that you're like that, to be honest. Like Justin doesn't like a too serious motherfucker. Like, bro, like he's a fun guy.
I'm kind of crazy. Like I like to have fun, man. I'm kind of loud. I'm in your face. I'm high energy and Justin's kind of chill, you know what I mean? So I forewarned him. I'm like, dude, during our interview, I'm going to ask you like some crazy questions, like stuff you've never been asked, and just roll with it. And I said, but if you don't want to answer the question, I get it, man. Then just kind of nod at me like, hey, or I'll just cut it later, you know what I mean? And he's like, all right, cool. So I asked him a lot of crazy stuff, like mistakes he's made, things he would have done different, why he likes the shitty Atlanta Falcons, stuff like that. So I was just busting his balls, but he rolled with it. I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to ask you about the Falcons. I'm going to tell you that they suck, and I want you to roll with it, but I want you to get mad, like pretend like, and he's like, oh, all right, cool. And, dude, he rolled with it. It was great. It was fun.
Dude, I'm gonna share with you guys what I was gonna ask Justin to do for me, but I just didn't want to because I've been hurt and I don't want Justin to get hurt. But my whole theme for the vlog that I did for his place was like the Willy Wonka, right? Like the Canova factory.
Yeah.
So I was gonna have Justin come out limping. and like he's hurt and then do the tumble and be like
yeah. Dude, if you could have got him to do that would have been crazy.
Oh my God. Don't nobody go try to steal that. Justin, don't do that with anyone out there. We're going to do that. We'll make that happen. But anyways, Justin would have done that. I swear to God, he would have been down.
He would have, like I told him. Yeah, I think he's totally open to it, and I think like when I saw Justin do that stand-up open mic comedy thing. You see what he did?
I had a whole new respect for him after that.
No doubt. Me too, man. Once I saw him do that, I'm like, okay, he's really comfortable.
That was on the whim too. That was not set up. Like they're like open and mic and they convinced him to go up.
Yeah.
And dude, I thought that was all premeditated. I was like, bro, that was really good. That was just on the fly, bro.
It was good, but
That's
awesome. Justin has a serious sense of humor, and I think a lot of people see Justin as this chill kind of businessman he's not. Justin's cool, he's fun, he's laid back, once you get to know him a little bit, I think he's a great guy, man. He's super chill.
So let me ask you this, Abe. Let's say you had a facility like Justin's, right? Or just like even your own facility. Let's talk about your place.
Yeah.
Shout out to the homie Dylan. He has a super chat question. I think this is awesome to ask. But when people ask to come to your place, do you take any precaution to prevent them of spreading mites? Like, do you allow strangers over, anybody over from a show that you just met? Like, what is kind of like your rule of thumb when bringing an outsider into your collection? Good question, D.
So generally, I don't do it. Generally, I don't let people. I don't want people to know where my stuff is, except for trusted people. You know what I mean?
True. Oh my God, I'm the same fucking way, bro. People hit me up people locally all the time, like, "Hey, yo, I want a link." I don't care. I'm not linking with you.
I'll link up with certain people. Like I have certain people in the Chicago area who I'm friends with, who I trust. I have certain people that I could leave for a week, and there's a couple guys I can call right now that could come over, take care of my snakes for a week, and I wouldn't have to think about it. Like total trust, But I don't want everybody knowing where I'm at, where I live, where the snakes are, and I don't know. It's just a trust thing. So no, nobody from shows that I would meet would bring. Like I have to develop a trust with you before you can come over to my place. And it's nothing against the person. It's just if I don't know you, though, I got to learn a little bit about you before I let you into my place and let you see where everything is and what everything is that I do. You know what I mean?
Right. So as of right now, what's your goal of 2022 clutch wise? I mean, if everything goes in your favor, how many clutches are you looking to have this year?
I think I'd be good with like 10 or 12, man, to be honest with you. Right in there would be perfect. I think I have the capabilities to probably do about 20 if I wanted to, as far as the females, but I don't want to. Some of them I'm going to put on the shelf and just wait because I'm waiting for the males to be ready for them. And, I guess that, like I said, I'm trying to keep it slow and controlled, man. Like for me, this is not a race. Like I said, I have a job. I have a job that pays my bills. I do this on the side because I love it, man. To me, it's a thing. It's a passion thing.
What's crazy is because let's say you want to look at this as a race. Okay, let's for the people who are like in the racy mode for this.
Yeah.
Do you realize how much somebody could just catch up in 1 year? Like, as far as like, if you're really looking at like what's new and stuff, you don't know what motherfuckers are just like in your situation, you're literally have females that you're like, I'm going to wait. And so many people, Will does that. Like, bro, there's fucking Levance does that. Like, bro, they're not out there just juicing everything because they can. No, bro, they're fucking strategic. You got to be strategic with this shit.
Definitely.
Otherwise, if you just have all this stock of just like, it just, I don't know, the whole less is more approach with these ball python projects, I feel is like the more suitable thing you could do to really keep having a good time while you're breeding. You know what I mean?
You're right, man. It has to be strategic, MJ, because if it doesn't, the shit's going to get away from you. You're going to lose your interest and you're going to burn out and you're going to be one of these guys we hear about that's in and out in 3 years. Yeah.
But only that, you're going to be sitting on product that you're going to sell for cheap. Like you're going to end up like, you're going to devaluing things because you got to get rid of it. Like you can't, not everybody has a fucking Canova facility. Not everybody could fucking keep every holdback, And, you know, you have people that like Will who come on podcasts and talk about his holdback game, but Will's building facilities for himself. Like Will is he is on a Canova level, like as far as what he has going on in Canada. Like, and you just can't compare yourself to that. You know, like it's strategic, bro. Like you got to get realistic with your shit, especially, you know, I don't know, especially if room is really a big concern for you. You just can't, like, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah, you know, and I think the mistake a lot of people make, man, is that people breed shit together just to breed it, just to make something. They don't think about it. They don't think about the fact that they might not be able to sell that thing. They might be housing and feeding and cleaning that thing for the next 2 years because no one wants to buy this, whatever it is they made, this, you know, single gene, ugly piece of shit, whatever it is. You know, sometimes you have to just accept the fact that if you make stuff, you may never sell it. You may have to keep that snake forever. It might be born without eyes, handicapped, have issues that you have to deal with. As far as not being able to sell certain animals, that's what we sign up for when we do this. You sign up for a life of commitment, man, and that's committing to the animals. And if shit goes wrong, you're committing to those animals when shit went wrong. So it's part of the game, you know, and it's not easy. But when people ask me that, I tell them, hey, man, you know, you can breed that female now and you can make a bunch of $150 snakes, or you can save her for next year when your power male is ready to go. And those snakes are $1,000 a piece. And people will go, I'm breeding it now.
Right.
Okay, fine. You know, do what you need to do, you know. But I think people lack patience, man. That's what it is. And in this game, this ball python game, or breeding, you know, reptiles in general, you got to have patience. It's a process. You know, you could buy all these females, you know, and think everything's going perfectly. And then you buy your male a year before like you're supposed to, and you think you're planning everything out right. Guess what? That male might not breed that year. Your females might not be ready for him. There's so much shit that can go wrong that people don't think about, that the patience wears thin and they leave. You know,
you know, I mean, I got to be honest with you, Abe. Like, what's been kind of what ate me away last year was some of these podcast guests that I was bringing on, were that some of these ball python breeders were kind of telling me how they were breeding their girls in, like, you know, after 2 years. Like, they were getting them up to weight after 2 years. And in my head, I'm like, fuck, like, I would really like that. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, there's certain species that are a lot harder to breed than ball pythons. Yeah. Okay. And the real game plan with those species is maturity, letting that fucking snake get older. Okay. So you got to think, what do you think might help a ball python even? Maybe not breeding it at 2 years, even though it's big, giving it just maybe an extra year or so, because I can tell you what, you can run into complications breeding a ball python too young, even if it's big. I can tell you that. I can tell you that right now. And if it's a fucking girl that you want longevity wise, then dude, patience is your best that's your best bet. You just got to chill. Yeah, man. In certain cases, yeah, you know, and I have nothing against somebody who's able to get a girl up to speed in 2 years and get her healthy and get her to lay a nice, healthy clutch of eggs. But I guess it's another thing when people are breeding something just to breed it. You know what I mean? And just to make something that, you know, those animals are going to end up at the adoption, you know, place for pets, you know, or they're going to end up handed off to somebody for free or just wholesaled off, you know. So I just wish people thought it through a little bit more before just producing random stuff just to make something. I think they just need to be a little more, you know, they just need to plan it out better, you know. 100%. And that's just me, you know. I try to. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I try to, you know, new people that I sell snakes to and stuff, they're like, hey, thanks, you know, I bought the snake. And the first question that a lot of new people are going to ask you is, what should I breed this to? You know, and it's like, damn, okay, I sold you this snake. I can't fucking stand it. I sold you this snake 5 minutes ago, and I don't know what you have at your house or what your plan is, but maybe I can help you lay out a long-term plan. You know what I mean? I can't stand that, bro. That right there, I'm like, because, you know, God, you know, I'm like, I'm happy you're my customer, but I'm not going to tell you what to do with this snake. Like, no, but I'll try to guide them. I'll try to help them. I'll ask him, like, what do you like? Yeah, exactly. What do you like? What do you want to make? Okay, so let's bring that together and try to make something happen, you know. But right. You know, I'm never going to dog on someone for what they bought. You know, everyone has their beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? You know, 100%. Some people love certain genes, some people hate them. So you know? Listen, at the end of the day, Abe, I talk about this all the time, how when you're in this hobby, I feel like just working with animals, but let's just say the ball python game in particular, if you're meant for this, things land in your lap. And I just mean opportunities come, you take them, and they go in your favor. And some people get really lucky with these favors, and it is what it is. I just feel like it's destiny, right? And what I'm getting at is the fact that you invested in a codon gene that Justin Kabelka backs up. Okay, the Trojan gene. Okay, that right there got my attention, which we need to have a serious talk about that after this. But anyway, but the Trojan, bro, let's talk about that. When did you stumble across the Trojan gene? What was the motivation behind that? And let's take it from there.
Okay, so the Trojan gene I started seeing about 4 years ago. A dude in California, his name is Clint Conway. Wine Country Reptiles is the name of his business. So Clint was doing a lot of stuff with Trojan, and this was 4 years ago. I wasn't even on Instagram back then. Like, I started on Facebook, and I just got on Instagram like 2 years ago. So I was one of these guys that like Facebook first, did kind of all my reptile animal stuff on Facebook. They started shutting down like all the animal groups on Facebook. And when all that shit happened, I just jumped ship and went straight to Instagram. And thank God, because I didn't realize how great Instagram was and how shitty Facebook was until then. You know what I mean? But it really is. But I was talking to Clint quite a bit on Facebook, and he was putting up these pictures of these crazy Trojan combos. And another dude who we were talking with, he works for Austin Hudgens. He works for JT now with Reptichip. But Austin and I and Clint were talking about this Trojan stuff, and we were like, man, this shit is crazy. And then we saw a super Trojan. So Clint had made a super Trojan. This thing was absolutely crazy. And once I saw that super, then I knew that it was something I had to have, you know? So I just kept my eye on it. I didn't buy anything until, I don't know, about 2 years after that. And I bought it from Justin. So about 2 years ago, it was 2019.
You got the Trojan from Justin?
Yes, I got my first Trojan from Justin. So it was... so Justin actually had reached out to Clint Conway, if I'm not mistaken, at some point at Wine Country Reptile, and was trying to buy some Trojan. I think Justin wanted to buy the Super Trojan, was trying to buy the Super, and they weren't able to get a deal done for whatever reason. So Justin just bought some regular Trojans and started doing his own thing. Knowing, you know what Justin does, Justin starts making hets, right? Yep. So 2019, I'm chilling one night, sitting on Morph Market, and all of a sudden I see a Trojan Trick Het Clown that Justin had listed, and I see a Trojan Trick Het Desert Ghost. What? And they were both the same price, and they were both males. And I'm like, what the fuck? He made a Het Desert Ghost and a Het Clown, and now I'm looking at these things, and they're expensive, right? And I'm like, holy shit, you know? But I was waiting for something like that with Trojan because I had my eye on it. I knew I was going to jump in eventually. I was just waiting for the right animal, you know? And wow. This was it. Now I had two of them in front of me, and I'm already heavily invested in DG and Clown. That's like my primary projects across the board. Like any snake I have, if it's not visual, it's either head for DG or head for Clown or head for both. Like wow. That's how I kind of laid out my whole collection. So I see these two options, a Het Clown and a Het DG, and I call Justin. And I get him on the phone. I'm like, dude, I see these two snakes. I can't believe these are on Morph Market. Like, it was just mind-boggling to me because there were no hets out there like this. These were the first ever hets with Trojan, and they happen to have Trick in the mix, which was just kind of a bonus. But I talked to him a little bit in the end. I chose the Clown, the Het Clown, instead of the Het Desert Ghost. And that was 2019. I met him at Tinley in 2020. So that was the March 2020 Tinley show that they shut down. Right. That was the COVID show that they canceled. Yep. Whatever. Yep. So Justin actually ended up coming to that show, though, because he was bringing a bunch of animals for people that had like prepaid and bought animals. And Chase had already left the facility and was already in Indianapolis with all the snakes. Yeah. So he was already, 90% of the way to Tinley. Jeez. So Justin called me the night before Tinley, and he's like, hey, I don't know if you heard, but they just canceled Tinley. And I was like, no, man, I didn't hear. That's unbelievable. Like, it was crazy, So
you know how I found out? I found out when the plane landed in fucking goddamn O'Hara.
A lot of people had it a lot worse like you, bro. Like, people
I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what do I do now? Like, everything changed. And I was like, and then I remember, because I was supposed to link with Miguel. Miguel was supposed to have my room. I mean, I think he still had the room, but he was like, no, we're going to go to Detroit instead. Yep. I was like, what? He's like, your flight leaves at like 4:15 a.m. or something. I was like, what? I was like, so I'm not going to sleep tonight then. I was like, what the fuck? And luckily, shout to Ryan McVeigh, but I had dinner with Ryan McVeigh and his family, and I stayed the night at his house and went straight to the airport. And yeah, dude, it was fucking. No, I think my flight left at like 6. I had to be at the airport at like 5 or something. Anyways, I had to wake up super early. And but dude, you know, it ended great because the way Miguel saved it. But like, man, what a fucking pain in the ass. I was so sad. That was just right after Forrest died. I was super depressed. All I wanted to do was like do some shit that I felt that would like make me feel good, you know. And that fucking show got canceled. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I had a lot of people telling me, "Yo, don't go, bro. It's gonna get canceled." And I was like, "Fuck that! I'm already at the airport. I am going." And sure enough, I land canceled. Yeah,
man, it was rough, you know. But you know, I learned about it from Justin. You know, he got a bunch of people called him. You know, he's a lot more connected than me, obviously. So he knew that this thing was canceled. He called me and said, "Hey, this thing's canceled." He's like, "But why don't you go ahead and drive up to Tinley?" Because I'm only like an hour from Tinley. I'm an hour dead north from Tinley. So he's like, "Hey, why don't you come anyway? Your animal is on the truck with Chase. It's going to be here tomorrow morning." And I'm like, "All right, cool." You know, so I drove to Tinley on the Friday, the day they canceled, and met Justin and in a parking lot. And we did the exchange in a parking lot, you know, at like 9 o'clock at night. And that was that. You know, and I bred that boy, that Trojan trick het clown boy, this past season, you know. So I bred him to 2 straight clown females, and that's it, on purpose. I didn't want to breed the Trojan trick het clown to anything that had other genes in the mix. I wanted to keep it simple because what I was looking to do was to establish the base Trojan clown. I wanted to see what the Trojan clown looked like before it started getting a bunch of shit stacked on top of it. You know what I mean?
That's smart, because it's good to know the idea of the base. That way, it's going to be easier for you to ID shit too. You know,
no one's made one. Like as far as I knew at that point, no one had made a Trojan clown. And if they did, I wasn't aware of it. You know, so I'd never seen one, and I was like,
what year was this again? Can you remind me?
This was just last year, 1 year ago.
Okay.
So 2020 was when I bred them, and summer of 2021 is when everything was laid, basically.
So and there's still not a Trojan clown, or is there a Trojan clown now?
There's a Trojan clown. I have one. I made 3 this year. So
wow, no way.
Yeah, so I got 2 clutches of Trojans. I did, and like I said, they both went to just straight clown females because I didn't want to muddy the waters with other genes.
Respect.
So I lost some eggs along the way. I think I had incubator issues. Something happened. I don't know what the fuck happened. I wish I knew because it would have saved me a lot of headache, man. But
I hear you.
I lost 4 eggs out of a total of 15 Trojan clown eggs. So, you know, I lost a good amount of them, which really sucked. But I did hit 2 Trojan trick clowns.
Did you post them?
What's that?
Did you post them or no?
Oh, yeah. They're on my Instagram.
Trying to find them. I don't know where the fuck they're at.
They're about, I don't know, 20 pictures deep from the top, I'm guessing. It's on like a piece of like black plexiglass that was taken outside. It's like got a shiny background behind it.
Was it?
But anyway,
here, I want. Oh, whoa. Okay, hold on. Let me see.
You'll know it when you see it. Yeah, man.
Let's just take. I want to just so people have an idea what the fuck we're talking about, and I want to see it. I want to see it honestly. I don't know why I haven't seen it. Where are we at from here? Do you know?
All right, right there. So
right here.
That's it, right there. Yeah.
Holy shit! All right.
Yeah, so that's a Trojan trick het clown, and that was right after it was first born. Pretty much, it didn't really have any color to it. It looks incredible now it's super rich. The Trojan colors popped in on it, the trick, and it's just super busy. It's got thick lines. I sold it. You know, I sold them both. I made 2 Trojan trick clowns. I sold them both.
What'd that sell for, if you don't mind me asking?
A lot.
Drop the number.
You want the numbers?
Yeah, drop the number. Give me a ball rate. You don't have to give me the exact figures, but like give me like a range. Like what are we talking here?
Between 6 and 8.
All right, respect.
Yeah, for 2 of them. So I sold 2 of them at that price. I kept one. So I made 1 female, and the female is a straight Trojan with no trick. So I made that straight Trojan clown, which is really cool. She's really cool. What I learned, though, is that I think Mom must have had blade in her, blade clown, because she's kind of reduced and wasn't what I was expecting as far as a Trojan clown. She's still badass. I think I have her on Instagram also. I think she's on one of the reels I did. I don't think I put a picture up because I was kind of waiting until.
So you have the other ones up or no?
Let's see. Scroll up a little bit. So yeah, right there to your left, or go down a little bit. So that the picture of the 3, yeah, that one, that's the 2 Trojan trick clowns. And then to the right, that's just a Trojan, a straight Trojan on the far right. And it's the nicest Trojan I made, man.
Female, or what is that?
What's that?
The female?
That is a boy. That's a Trojan het clown. He was sold also. He's actually going to my buddy Jeremy Baud at Baud's Exotic Reptiles down in Tampa, Florida.
Damn, that's what's up. So let me ask you. So did you the Trojan clowns that you sold? Did you advertise them at all, or were people just on your ass about them? Like,
no, I mean I put some pictures on Instagram, you know, but I didn't really hype it up too crazy because I was kind of waiting for another clutch to see how that one went. I wanted to wait until I had 2 clutches of Trojan clowns so I could kind of compare everything, be sure I had the IDs correct. Like I didn't want to jump the gun on anything and think I had something I didn't. So I wanted to be positive before I started putting shit out there. Right. So then I did. I listed those 2. They both sold pretty quick. I got to be honest. I listed a female Trojan het clown. She sold I just put a picture on Instagram and she sold in 15 minutes. Like I just said, hey, I have a Trojan het clown female here. Here's the price. And instantly I got a notification. Somebody wanted to buy it. So I basically sold almost everything as far as my Trojan stuff.
So now that you got the idea what the base Trojan clown looks like, this year, are you going a crazier route, or what's the plan now? So I'm doing I am doing another, I guess, clown clutch with her or with him. I'm going to add him to another female visual clown that has spot nose and a couple other genes in it. Now that I got the base Trojan clown, now I want to see what it's like when I start throwing other shit at it. So I still have the boy, the breeder father, the Trojan trick het clown. I'm going to put him to a couple other girls this year, a couple other clowns, and see what I get. It's Trojan is a subtle gene. It's kind of it's very different. I'm doing a YouTube video on it. As a matter of fact, right now I'm going to be putting it out this week. I'm doing like a gene spotlight video, and I'm focusing on Trojan. So I'm going to show everybody, hey, this is what a nice Trojan looks like, and I have all the examples here. So I shot all this footage of a straight Trojan, a Trojan trick het clown, a beautiful straight Trojan, a Trojan trick clown, a Trojan clown, kind of everything. And I just kind of start at the bottom and work my way up as far as, as they get more complex, and let people know what traits to look for to ID, a Trojan, because there's a lot of stuff to look for. And, Trojan's a badass gene. I love it, and the super form is incredible. Hey, you know what you should do? Go to Morph Market, MJ, and go to the Trojan gene. You should show this. I want you to see this super, because, dude, it's crazy. Didn't Justin have the super?
No. Justin does not have a super. At least not that I know of. He might. Justin has stuff, but I'm not aware of him having a super. But I know he's trying to make one, and I'm going to be trying to make one soon too, because the super is really amazing.
So it's really reduced, right?
No, it's not reduced at all. It's the color and it's the pattern. They're very banded, like an Enchi. I tell people that like a nice quality Trojan looks like a clean Enchi with different color, different markings, but
I don't see a super Trojan.
Okay, so if you go to Trojan, MJ, where it shows all the genes, and there's the little question mark next to it where it shows like it's the new thing that Morph Market just rolled out.
Hold on.
If you go to the main page with all the genes, just click on the little question mark right next to the Trojan.
Let's see.
There you go. Go back one page.
I googled from this, so let me go to homepage. Hold on. Yep. So ball python's homepage, right? So browse,
yep.
Trojan, right?
So go down. Don't click on Trojan though. Click the little question mark right next to it.
Like the eye, like the information button.
Yeah.
It's not a question mark, okay?
Sorry, bro. I thought from here it looked like a question
mark. This isn't alphabetical order. Jesus Christ, where the fuck is Trojan? Now I have to go through this. I'm too high for this shit.
Toward the bottom.
Hold on. Trick. Where the fuck is it? Trick. I don't see Trojan, dog. Oh, here it is. Found it. All right. Fuck. It's like playing Where's Waldo, dude. Yep. All right. So here we go.
So cool. So now go down to the bottom of the page, and it has some combos. It's
Okay.
right there. So the one on the far left. See, there's mine right there, the third one in.
Right here.
That's
So
my
this.
but
So
on the far left, that's a Super Trojan. Click on that.
Ooh.
Dude, that's a Super Trojan right there. So this is a prime example. You know, you see the banding, you see the cleanliness, you see the color. Dude, it almost looks like an Ultramel or a Monarch, but it's a
Right.
Codom, you know, and that's what's really cool about it. It's got this as a super. It's crazy clean. And I think it's a badass gene. You know, it's subtle. Not everybody loves it. It's almost hard to see in some combos, you know, but it does some crazy stuff, man. And I'm really happy with it. And I know Justin did some cool stuff with it this year. You know,
Speaking of the devil,
there he is. Yeah. Like, I think it's amazing. You know, I know Justin did the stuff with the Hypo DG Trojan, the Hypo DG Trojan trick, if I'm not mistaken. And that thing was crazy. It was beautiful. I mean, it had colors popping through it that we haven't really seen in ball python. So that got me excited.
I have to. Okay, I'm going to revert to another. You know, because listen, I do love the ball python game, bro. But there are reasons why I got into other species, because at the end of the day, it is a strategic thing with the ball pythons, and it can kind of get overwhelming. The more things you stumble across, the more you want to add it and all sorts of shit, and then you realize, oh, this is relatable to this. And it's kind of like, you know, the Monarch and Ultramil thing. Not that I had that issue, but like that's a common dispute, right?
Yeah.
But there's another one, and you know, hopefully maybe Justin could chime in on this if he wants to. But the whole paint and Sentinel being the same thing. What is your drawback on that, or what do you know about that?
So I have Sentinel in my collection. It's one of the things I was going to talk to you about. Like, it's one of the genes that I'm working with that I'm super excited about, especially after I saw Justin's video the other day. Like, Justin did that paint video where he did the paint clowns. Yeah, That's with Sentinel. I got that girl like a year ago, but when I saw Justin's paint clowns the other day that he got, they're crazy. I mean, they got me super excited. They're so busy, man, and they looked exactly like I was hoping they would. So yeah, I have Sentinel. I do think Sentinel and paint are the same thing. That's just me. You know, people have their own opinions on it, but I do. Like, I've seen them side by side too, and to me they're absolutely identical. I think in the beginning, people thought they were Codoms, you know, so they were calling them super, you know, they were calling them supers. They called it a super Sentinel and a super paint. And now you're seeing het paints and het Sentinels, and people are identifying them more as recessives now. But yeah, MJ, I think they're the same. I think they're the same exact thing, just a different name.
Now,
I mean, tell about that project. It's badass.
Yeah, I could do so much potential. It just looks like a Codom on steroids, which makes sense on why it's a recessive and not a Codom. You know what I mean? It looks like it's already a super form of something. You know what I mean? But it's not. But let me ask you, what's your direction with this? Where are you trying to take this?
So, you know, in the beginning, when I first got that thing about a year ago, you know, my goal, of course, was to just grow this girl up for a couple years, buy a boy, and make some badass, you know, Sentinel combos. Now I see Justin's video last week, and I'm like, all right, I'm making hats. You know what I mean? Like, it's a no-brainer for me. So I'm going to take this girl when she's of age, you know, hopefully in a year to a year and a half, and I'm going to put the nicest clown I have with her, and I'm going to make hats. I'll play the slow game, you know what I mean, with this thing, because I could make more Sentinels. I could buy a boy, and that is an option, I guess. But to me, based on what I saw the other day, which was kind of the direction I was going to go anyway, I'll be honest, I was either going to do DG or clown to that Sentinel female. But after seeing the clown stuff the other day, you know, you really can't go wrong with either with clown or DG to something like this, to a Sentinel. I know some people are working on some Sentinel DG stuff already up in Canada. And I can't wait to see it. I think the Sentinel DG stuff is going to be just crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
I'm going to dip you in a little bit of hot water right now. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Are there any genes out there you'd rather stay away from? Or is there anything that you maybe had in your collection that you kind of shifted out? And you can not allowed to say spider because that's a fucking given. But I'm wondering if there's anything else out there. And not necessarily because like there's something wrong with it. It's just it's just not your thing.
Not appealing to me.
It's not your thing, you know, and it could be anything. I mean,
you always get in trouble when you answer
these feelings, bro. Let's go. I want to hear it. Come on. You can say GHI, I'll fucking cut you out right now.
No, for me, it's banana, bro. That's what it is.
Okay, respect. I mean, that's That's America's
I
favorite
don't
pet.
love it. Like it's kind of cool. I mean, it has a cool color to it, and it does some cool things if you mix it in the right combo, just like any gene. But to me,
Values is gone.
it's something I could do without. You know what I mean? It is. So I guess to answer your question, that's one I guess I could pass on. And
So you're talking about even all those crazy ass bananas Billy be making and shit. You rather not have banana in that. You don't like the orange, or you rather have you rather have Orange Dream. I'm assuming.
See, I knew this was going to fucking happen as soon as I answered that question, and I didn't expect it to be you though that came at me.
Hey, I gotta hear from your perspective, bro. Hey, come on, man. You're not. Normally I ask big breeders this and shit, ones who've been doing this for a while, and but you're somebody who's literally building your empire. So I just, you keep it 100 right now. Like what are
to me, it's a gene that I as I've seen it and all the combos that it makes, it's cool in a few combos. And I think you can say that about a lot of genes, man. Like they're cool if you mix them with the right things. Otherwise, they're just kind of like, But I'm not here to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to step on anybody's projects, even though I probably just did with this banana thing. But you know what? It is what it is. Like I answered your question. And to me, that's the one I could do without. Now, let me flip side you. If I could put one gene into every single thing in my collection, Cypress.
Damn.
Absolutely.
I am a Cypress fucking fanatic. Let's go. I love Cypress. Shout out to Miguel. Hey, Miguel put me on game with Cypress. I don't know who put you on game, but it was definitely Miguel who put me on game with Cypress for sure.
You know who put me on game with Cypress was that Clint Conway from Wine Country Reptiles out in California.
What's his name? Wait, so it's Winery. What is it, or what's it called?
Wine Country Reptiles. I don't even know if he's still around, but I don't think he's doing much. I don't see him much.
Wine Country gift baskets.
Wine Country Reptiles.
I don't see it. Maybe he's on
Napa. He's in Napa, California.
Yeah, he ain't coming up, doggy.
Yeah, but that's where I got my first cypresses from. So I got a cypress female from him like 3 years ago. The first one I got, just a straight cypress, and that's when cypress was new. And I think I paid like $2,000 for it. $2,000 for like a straight cypress female. You know what I mean?
And what did you do with that? Let me ask you that. You have a single gene female that you invest.
Yeah.
What in your state of mind, your mission was to do what with that? Put a recessive into it, obviously, but what, clown, or what did you put her to?
Yeah, at that point it was in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put it to a clown, and see what happens in 3 years. And last year she was huge. She was paired to a yellow belly clown. 4 or 5 times, multiple locks, everything was on track, everything looked great. She got huge. I thought she was about to ovulate, and then something happened, man, and she reabsorbed. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. It didn't happen to any other snakes in my collection. She reabsorbed, and on top of reabsorbing after that, man, she shut down. She stopped eating. That was last December of 2020. She just ate her first meal in a year, like a month ago. So since she absorbed, she went off food for a full year. So not only did she not go last year, she went off food for an entire year. She won't be going for me this year. So that's a girl that I bought almost 4 years ago for a lot of money, brand new codom at the top of its feet. And I haven't even been able to breed her yet, dude. You know what I mean? I see cypress, like a straight cypress, for like $200 on Morph Market. And I'm like, God damn, I haven't even breed my girl yet. But
yeah, it's how it goes.
This year I will. Like this year, I'm going to put her to like something crazy too. Like I have a few boys a few powerful boys that I'm really getting into the rotation this year. I have a Desert Coast Clown. So I want to put my DG Clown with that cypress. I want to make cypress double hets. And, see what happens from there. To me, cypress, you can't go wrong with it. I mean, it goes well with pretty much everything as far as a codom. There's problems with the super though. It's kind of like a spider. It gets wobble, the super. So you got to be careful there. But I love cypress, man. It does magical things. It brings in colors that other snakes don't have. It brings in these reds and this brightness. And so
I'm gonna make you feel better right now. You ready?
Yeah, man.
So,
I already feel good though.
So check this out. I dabbled. Anyways, I just gotta say, Will Morrows. You try to throw hot water at that guy, he's unfazable. You could throw any question to him, and he comes at you super quick with the most honest question. I wish he was here. Shout out to my boy Will, but. Will, I think my first episode, I had Will on. I kind of asked him a similar question to that, right? And you know what he said? pied.
Yeah, I know. That's his
And you know what's funny, bro? Like, you've been raving about everything in your collection other than the pied. And I'm just curious, where's pied? And I'm gonna tell you what I feel about pied. I got pied stuff, but I'm gonna tell you some concerns and some other like concerns, but some also positive stuff about pies.
All right.
What's going on with pied with you? This is amazing snake, by the way. If you could break down the genetics, that'd be great.
That's just a straight hypopide right there.
Oh, I love the bro.
Dude, I love hypopides.
Hypopides are amazing.
They're incredible.
I love them, bro.
They are. They're incredible. And I've been wanting one, MJ. Like I wanted one for like 6 months, you know, and I've been looking for them and looking for the right one with the right amount of pattern.
The right one.
I don't like high white pies. I don't like them full solid. Like I like something in the middle.
Bro, that's the right one, bro.
Schaumburg, dude. I was walking through the Schaumburg show, and Rodney from Black Sun Reptiles. I think he's on this live right now. He stops me. We're talking, and he's like, "Dude, so what are you looking for?" I'm like, "Man, if I found a hypopide, I'd be happy." And he's like, "Man, there's a hypopide right at the end of this row, man." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
I hate it when they do that.
Dude,
you tell somebody you're looking for something, like kind of almost happy. You're like, you're not going to spend that much money. You're just like, all right, you know, it is what it is. And they're like, no, dude, it's over there on this table. And it's like, oh, here we go. But it's like, it's such a fucking fun feeling, bro. Like,
dude, it was because I didn't see it. Because I didn't see him. Like throughout Schaumburg, I had looked through the whole place. I didn't see him. You know, I just missed it. And he's like, dude, there's like 4 right over here. And I was like, what do you mean? He comes with me, and he had been looking at this one in particular too. And I kind of turned and looked at him. I'm like, dude, would you be cool if I bought this thing? You know, because I thought he might have wanted to buy it.
Right.
And he did have his eye on it. But no, he was cool with it. And I ended up buying it right then and there. And there it is. You know, I bought it just kind of walking through the show, found it, and I had to have it. It was perfect for me. It had the right amount of color and pattern. And what I'm going to do with that thing, absolutely, is quad hats. That's what I will do.
Oh, shit. Now you're speaking Justin's language. Oh, my God.
I mean, if I just put a DG clown with that girl right there, I mean, boom, magic will happen. You know, I'll have magical hats, and then I could start bringing in codoms. But yes, I want to start
clown hypopide. Has that even been done? I hope not. I mean, that's just that would make me sick. That would be
that I know of. Not that I'm
aware of. Insane.
Yeah,
Justin's probably gonna do some shit. He's probably gonna release that next month or some shit.
Awesome.
All right. So okay, let me ask you though. Where do you? Okay, here now. Let me tell you how I feel about pied, because pied is, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I love banana. Banana was the first gene that caught my attention in 2016 when I was going through YouTube and shit. And I was like, you know, because you understand, I was not looking at this at a breeding level. I just wanted a pet. Like I was looking for a really awesome looking pet. Yeah. So bananas were my things, and so were pies. Banana pies were my very first 2 love as far as with these ball pythons. But as my experience was gaining each year, and as I was adding more pied stuff, and then when I started hatching out pied stuff, I started to realize that it's not always easy IDing shit in pied. Pied could be fucking, like, if you got a lot going on, you know what I mean? It could really be a pain in the ass. And then I just started, nothing against high whites. I love high white pieds too. But then I just started seeing like almost all white pieds with certain genetics in it. And I'm just like, you know, people don't really see I mean, it's really hard. Even if you have a legit following, not too many people want to invest not too many people want to invest in an all white looking snake, even if it's packing the genetics.
Yeah,
they just don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So I'm like, you know, I kind of steered back a little bit on the whole pied, and I try to keep my shit high white. I'm not high whites, low whites. I'm addicted to creating low white, mid white pieds. That's my thing. So where you at as far as what kind of pieds are you looking to make? Like what's your vision with the pieds as far as like the way it looks?
I love pieds. You know, I'm not going crazy with it. I don't have a ton in the collection as far as pieds. I think I have 3 females. This is one of them that you have up on the screen. Yeah, I put this picture up, and this dude was like, hey, that's a yellow belly. And I'm like, man, it's not. Like, I bought it from this dude. I asked the guy the pairing. You know, there was no other genes in the mix that the guy was aware of. But, you know, I think that yellow belly generally has some jagged edges, you know, some more jagged stuff happening in there. And that's what makes me think it's not yellow belly. If it is, that would be amazing. And it's super.
I would tell.
You never know. But to answer your question, I've only got 3 girls in the pied game, man. I'm kind of like, my game is DG, you know, and clown. But pieds, I have a few. You know, I have a couple that are going to go this year for me. And OD yellow belly pied stuff. I am doing clown pieds, this year. So right now I did have a pairing that has locked a couple times already for me. I'm hoping things go better than last year, but I have a clown head pied to a pied head clown, so good odds to make clown pieds, 1 in 4.
I need you to school me right now, bro.
Yeah.
Help me realizing what the fuck, because I know there's cryptic.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck's going on with this? What is going on,
dude?
It looks like a clown,
dude. It's incredible. I have another.
Like, what's going on? Is it?
I have like a full body shot of that snake. That right there, that is a orange dream, possibly a super orange dream, because there was OD on both sides of the pairing, but it's at least minimum an OD cryptic desert ghost. That thing is crazy. It's my favorite snake in my collection. It's the one drawer that I open up and go, man, I'm so fucking lucky to have this thing. I really truly feel that way. Like, I feel very lucky that the dude made it available and sold it to me. And I was in the right place at the right time on Morph Market, and it just fell in my lap. I could not believe it. But yeah, cryptic desert ghost, OD right there. And I got big plans for that thing too. Cryptic is a crazy gene. I love it. I love it a lot. I'm actually playing with it more a little bit. I have a couple other cryptic animals that I bought recently because I want to see what cryptic brings to the table. It's been floating around in people's collections for years. They didn't even know they have it. And now they're starting to see it and find it. Now there are these kryptons, though, that when you breed them with a clown, it gets complicated, the genetics. People have a hard time like wrapping their head around what krypton is and what it actually does and what it actually passes down. So it gets a little hairy as far as the genetics of, I guess, a visual allelic recessive, which is kind of a crazy situation, but that's what it is with a cryptic. And unless you get your hands on a pure, true cryptic, sometimes you don't know what you have. If you're buying from somebody, you better be sure that who you're buying cryptic from, that they have a firm understanding of the parents and what was involved in the pairing. And you better have a damn well firm understanding of what you're buying. Because when it comes to cryptic, you don't actually know if you're buying cryptic or krypton, to be quite honest. They look visually identical to each other. So you can't tell. So you got to trust the breeder you're buying from, that it's labeled properly as cryptic or krypton, and know that they know their shit, and you better know your shit too, or you're going to get jacked.
Right.
Yeah.
No, okay. Let's no, I'm not trying to put you in more hot water, but I need real answers on this.
What do you want? Dude, I'll give it to you straight. What's up?
Because at the end of the day, man, people come into this shit, and they get their sticker swap thing going, and they get a little bit of following going, and what's the next thing they want to think about doing? Start a YouTube channel. Not the easiest thing to do, is it?
No, man, it's not. I haven't been great with it, man. I started this year for the first time. So my buddy that lives about 20 minutes from me,
right.
Nazar with Mesma Reptiles, he and I became good friends, and he started telling me, he's like, dude, you got to put out some videos, bro. You have to.
Right.
You seem like you'd be good at it,
That's a good homie. I'm telling you, that's a good homie.
Yeah, like, dude, he pushed me. Like, I wasn't going to do it. I was like, nah, I don't think I'd be good at that. I don't know if it's my thing. And he's like, dude, you have to. And he had me over to his house, and we shot a video for his channel. And it went really well, and it got me kind of a little more comfortable with the situation. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I can do this. This is actually really easy, and I'm totally comfortable doing it. So I started putting out some videos, and I haven't done one in I've been bad, man. I haven't done one in 6 months, but I put out 3 or 4 or 5 in a row real quick. I have another one I'm going to put out this week just related to Trojan, and I'm going to get back on the YouTube train, man. But I've been slacking. I really have.
And just be real with us, because what are some things you kind of ran into? Because getting the ball rolling is probably the hardest thing to do, but keeping it rolling is the game plan. But what were some things that you feel like you could maybe mention to kind of look out for anyone who's thinking about starting a YouTube channel? Any advice that you can give?
You got to put, so I guess to somebody who's sitting on their couch and going, man, I've never done a YouTube video. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not comfortable. I don't want to be on screen. I don't want my friends at work to know that I'm this dude with snakes. There's a lot of weird shit that people think about to make them not want to do a YouTube video about reptiles, right? There's a lot of people that don't know they're into reptiles. They're, for whatever reason. I was that same dude, and my buddy was like, hey, man, just do this. I did it, and then I was like, all right, this is easy, and I did another one. And then I was like, okay, now I get it. I understand the need for it. This is very straightforward and easy to do. I can do this. And it's very important. Like, I feel like being able to put yourself out there in today's world is critical if you're in this reptile game. You see you look at Justin, you look at Will, you look at Levance, you look at these people who are big, Ozzy, the guys up top. The ones that are up top are the ones that are putting out tons of content, putting themselves out there, being comfortable doing it, and not being shy and hiding behind a keyboard and never showing their face. You got to show yourself. You got to be talking. You got to be conveying information to people. And if you don't do that, I feel like you'll be left in the dark. You know what I mean? I feel like you kind of have to put a foot forward. You got to get out of your comfort zone and make shit happen.
And it's funny. One thing I love talking about is like how much Justin's evolved with his persona on camera, the way he acts, because Justin comes from a introvert world where he's just kind of private, but he knows what he works with is people's dreams. People are losing sleep over the shit he works with.
Oh yeah.
So he's doing everything he can to put his stuff out there. Yeah. And Justin, like, bro, you don't think Justin can lay back at this point and just kind of just collect money? But like, he just keeps looking down the road. Like he's like a Elon Musk, bro. I'm telling you right now, like he's on another space level with this shit. I'm telling you, I feel like him and Elon Musk would be homies.
There's a lot of people that are looking at tomorrow, or what can they make next year, or what am I going to do? Justin's looking like 8 years down the road. He's making hats now that people never even thought to make. He has that vision. He sees certain genes and what they do. And the thing that I find unique about Justin is he understands the interaction of genes. He knows that, okay, if I put spot nose with red stripe and it does this, then I need to put this with a clown because that's going to be an incredible transition. Like he can almost see that shit before it happens, and that's, I think, what makes him unique. He has an eye for the details of what genes work together well, what genes don't work together. So he knows to avoid those, and he finds new stuff and runs with it and then makes it crazy. And that's what's awesome about him. He's a mad scientist, man, and he's awesome at it.
I just love the fact that he just spews out shit that you just can't help but to listen. Like when he talks, you're just like,
absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean? And I don't know. I feel like we've been fucking, giving Justin reach arounds this entire time, even though we haven't been. But we love you, Justin. I'm just telling you right now, you're literally leading by example. But all right, but to revert back to the YouTube thing, like I said, if you really want to get true gain and value out of YouTube, you're only going to get as much as you put out. Simple as that. Yep. You could be on your fucking ass with putting shit out for a year straight, and as soon as you go 1 or 2 weeks of not putting anything out, you literally become irrelevant in the algorithm. Because YouTube only wants consistency. That's exactly what makes things relevant. So, but at the end of the day, man, like, as long as you have the idea on how to do it, it's just about doing it. And, Abe, you got to understand, you're a family guy, bro. You got kids, you got a fucking job. And the fact that you got the reptiles, and like, dude, I give this so much respect, bro, because even if you just eliminate the social media side of the stuff that you have to put out, just with what you're doing right now is a lot. The reptiles, the job, but when you start implementing stuff, the marketing things, that's strategic. That's when things kind of get like, the lazy guy who just isn't putting anything out. And then all of a sudden, I got this clutch. Let me post it. You ain't going to sell that shit as quick as somebody else who's putting it out every day. Yeah, it's
got to network. You've got to put yourself out there. You got to do the stupid sticker swaps in the beginning. Like I felt like I had to.
In the beginning, you do. I clown it. But at the end of the day, you better start fucking showing some production after a year or two of collecting stickers.
Yeah, man. And there's a lot of people that you see them collecting stickers or swapping stickers, and you never hear from them again. And I got to tell you, it was weird for me.
Do that shit, bro.
Like I said, I was late to Instagram. So a couple years ago, once I got on it, I was like, all right, I need to get this thing moving. How do I do it? So, and I'm like, okay, I got to start, networking and doing all this shit. And my first thing was, all right, I got to do these sticker swaps. And I hated it, dude. I hated reaching out to somebody and be like, hey, you want to do a sticker swap? Like, it just felt so fucking childish and stupid.
Follow for follow. Oh my God. I had guys that started podcasts as these fucking geeks, and they'd hit me up. Hey, MJ, how about this? We're doing this. You follow these 10 people and what?
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm like, hey, listen, pass. Listen, don't ever fucking come at me with this shit again, please.
But it helps. Dude, it all matters. Like doing all
this. Yeah, but that's not why I'm here. Like that's not why I'm here. But I understand why people do that.
Yeah, man.
In my experience and from what I've seen, you're gonna get the number of followers you maybe want, but they're not genuine. They're not gonna be motherfuckers right there ready to pay your PayPal when that snake comes out. And the reason why I'm so proud of my followers, even though it's not like fucking Betsy, the gecko breeder who has 70,000 fucking followers. I don't want all that. I have real people who are sitting right there waiting for me to post a snake. And as soon as I do, they fucking hit me up and that shit's gone.
Amazing.
I never had to do share follow for follow. I no offense. I'm just saying no offense. There's strategic, right? Everyone has their approach. My approach was not to make friends in this in the beginning. Now I'm thankful. I got my Patreon members. I got my supporters who come and watch this. I love it. Yeah, man. But dude, strategic. It's strategic.
You have to be, and you have to put yourself out there. You got to do the sticker stuff, at least in the beginning, to try. And something else I did, man, was I started buying mailers. I started buying T-shirts. I got a professional logo made. Like, I didn't skimp on that kind of shit. I started buying shirts. I started randomly sending them out to people, randomly. Even people that haven't bought snakes from me, just people that I kind of might have looked up to or admired, or that I just thought, I want to put myself on their radar. You know what I mean? This dude doesn't know me. I'm brand new. I'm going to send him my shirt. Then he's going to know me. So, dude, I started buying shirts, having them made, and started shipping them all over randomly. And now, if you buy a snake from me, you're automatically getting a shirt in a box. You're like, to me, that's the little things that matter. But you got to put yourself out there. You got to network yourself, and you got to spend the money to network yourself. There's only so much you can do for free with Instagram and YouTube, and those both are huge, and they help dramatically. But I feel like you still got to do stuff on top of that.
Let me ask you this, Abe. If you're in once you get to that position where production is like you have stuffs to sell, like you're at a point where you have production to sell, right?
Yeah.
What's going to be your protocol as far as shipping goes? Like, and let me ask you a couple questions with that, right? So, for instance, if I buy a snake for you off a certain dollar amount, do you waive shipping in a certain situations? Or
absolutely, of course. Like, to me, that's a give me. Like, if it's over $500, basically, I'm shipping it to you for free. That's the way I see it. Regardless of where you live. I'm not gonna. It drives me crazy, man. I got to be honest. Like, I bought snakes from people, and they're so hung up on the shipping costs, And if I'm buying a $1,500 or $2,000 snake from somebody, and you're hemming and hawing about the $50 shipping, and then I live a little farther, and it's going to cost $80 to ship. Like, dude, that drives me crazy. I mean, if you're so worried about $20 in this game, go find another game.
Woo! I love it.
You got to make your customers happy. You got to make sure everybody's happy, and I would expect the same. If I'm buying a $2,000 snake, okay, just list the snake for $2,100 on Morph Market. Don't list it for $2,000 with $80 shipping. I'd rather you just say, hey, it's $2,100 and free shipping. You know what I mean? Because, dude, it's almost insulting when you're paying for shipping on an expensive ass animal, unless there's insurance involved. Insurance is a different animal, but.
I've had to make some calls, like, some executive type decisions because, I've had people send me money for snakes and they're like, hey, send me your zip code. Let me get you a quote or let me see exactly what the deal is. Yep. And they're in Michigan and it's like fucking 10 degrees. Yeah. And I tell them, yeah, listen, I can't send the snake right now. And they kind of like get huffy and puffy about it and rather just get their money back, which I'm cool with. But what's going to be your protocol as far as sending out snakes? I mean,
I'm dealing with it right now, MJ. So I've got 4 snakes in my room that are sold that I'm just sitting on. I'm feeding them, I'm heating them, I'm cleaning them, I'm taking care of them like they're mine, but I can't ship them. I mean, like I said, it's right now it's 21 degrees. I will not be shipping anything in or out of Chicago until at least late February, maybe March. Man. Like, we have a window that closes down. It actually closes in Chicago for like 2 months. You might be able to get stuff in and out, but you're playing with fire. If it gets hung up in Indy where it's 20 degrees or somewhere else, your snake could die. So
No. It will get held up at Indy.
Okay? It will. No doubt about it. It will when it gets hung up in Indy and it's sitting, who knows, and your hot packs go cold on you. That's when shit gets scary. You know what I mean? So I won't risk it. So I have 4 animals that are sold, sitting in my room, waiting until I could ship them. I actually also have 3 animals that I've bought in the last 3 months that I can't get shipped to me because it's too cold. And that's just the nature of the beast. I realize that that's how it is every year. I'll buy snakes that I know I'm not going to see for 4 months. It is what it is, man. But I'd rather them be safe with the person they're with, being fed and raised by them. And when it's time and it's safe, then I'll take it. I'm in no rush. Like I said, it's not a race for me. If I get the snake a month later, it doesn't affect anything in terms of my breeding plans. And if someone's going to make a stink about a month, sell your shit to someone else, you know?
Dude, so
people are willing to risk the death of an animal because they want it quick. Don't sell them that shit. Those are the kind of people that you need to just say, sorry, but I have to ask somebody else for a snake, you know?
All right, Abe, I got to say, I give credit when credit's due, bro. And where I'm getting with this is your logo. I fuck with your logo. Like, I love it. It looks awesome. And the reason why I say that, because I got your shirt. And every time I rock your shirt, people ask me, where do I get that shirt?
Nice.
And I'm telling you right now, man, you have some awesome, this is an awesome way to kind of put yourself out there. But do you ever see yourself vending? What's your mindset with as far as
I think I will vend, you know, because I'm 45 minutes from Tinley, so to me it would be easy to vend Tinley.
Right.
And I want to, but I'm not at the point where I have enough inventory to be able to rent a $400 table by myself. I talked about sharing a table with my buddy out in Palatine, Nazar, you know, from Massimo Reptiles. Him and I are talking about sharing a table at Schaumburg. But between the two of us, we think we'll probably have enough to, I guess, justify a table. You know what I mean? But when I'm doing 10 clutches a year, you know, a lot of the stuff is being sold by, you know, Morph Market. Right. And you reserve a table, and by the time it's showtime, you're down to like 8 snakes or something small, where you really, to me, I would rather enjoy the weekend and not be stuck behind a table vending, quite honestly. If I only have 6 or 7 snakes, I'd rather just sell those on Morph Market, not vend the show, walk around and party and have a good time that weekend and not have to worry about my table, you know. But
I mean, it's so easy to get distracted at those shows. Those shows are just so easy to get distracted where you like want to leave your table, you know, and like I would be impressed. I would be. What's that?
I feel bad sometimes for the guys that are vending, especially if they're by themselves, you know? And like, I see these guys, they're standing there by themselves all weekend just waiting for a friend to walk and save them so they can go piss. You know what I mean?
I will say, bro, location is everything, bro. Like, I see some people in a bad corner and I'm just like, damn, it's like, did anybody even know you're over here? And like, that's why it's like, fuck. I mean, I feel like I would be so like, I mean, luckily I got sponsorships to the 2 biggest shows in the country, but I would be like, yo, you're putting me where all the heat's at. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to, I'd probably be next to Cold Blooded Cafe or something, but I'm still like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the politics, because here's one thing, you know, I had a long talk with Brian Potter, but Brian Potter was like frustrated because a lot of new people are like wanting, they're just on his ass about, hey, how can I vend at Tinley or how can I vend at Arlington? Like, and really like want to know how come I can't get in. And you guys got to understand, Brian gives anybody who vends a show, they have till the afternoon the next day to recop their spot for the next show that following year. So you got to understand, like 9 out of 10 vendors re-sign that shit. And the one handfuls that don't, or even not even 1 or 2, they're like, there's already somebody who's in Brian Potter's phone book that he goes to and say, hey, I have a table. So dude, it's like, this is seniority right now. And like, it's even if you can get in, like, even if you can even get a corner spot, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like I got a table for Schaumburg. So Schaumburg is like, Tinley's 45 or 50 minutes from me. Schaumburg's like 30 minutes from me. I'm pretty close to both. So it's pretty nice. But I talked to Potter after the Schaumburg show. And, you know, I gave him some cash and I reserved a table. You know what I mean? I reserved a table from him for Schaumburg this upcoming year. Not even knowing if I was going to have inventory for it. Just figuring, you know what, if I could bring a buddy in to help me vend this thing so we'll have enough inventory to make something happen, then cool. I do want the experience of vending. I did it 25 years ago at that little Lee Watson's Reptile swap, this little shit in Illinois years ago on a little table, but I haven't vended since then. So I'd like to, you know, I think it would be fun. But I like to socialize, man. I like to be out there yakking it up with people and having fun. I think it would be kind of hard for me to be behind a table.
Now, let me ask you this though, Abe, at what level do you feel like, let's just say you were more motivated to like say, fuck the whole partying thing. And you're like, I want to do a table. In what time frame do you feel like you'd be ready for that? Like, how many clutches do you feel like you'd want? Like, when do you feel like you'd be ready to vend?
I'd say in a year or 2 from now. And I'll be honest with you, man, I'd be content just selling my stuff through Morph Market if that's how it works out. I think a lot of people take that approach, you know, like you look at Ozzy, he's not doing shows anymore. He doesn't have to, you know, just because he sells everything quickly through Morph Market. And a lot of people have that. Justin does the shows. He doesn't have to, but
Justin, here's the difference. Here's
Justin, and they want to see his stuff, and it makes sense for him to be there. And he sells a ton of animals that he just randomly brings to shows that are for sale on Morph Market anyway, and he ends up selling a ton of them. So it works out great for some people.
Justin goes to shows solely for the people, bro. And that's what I respect about Justin. Yep. Justin does not have to go to shows whatsoever. Nope. I seen this motherfucker migrate all the way to a West Coast show and have his whole setup. You know how much dedication that takes, and like how much stuff you have at risk.
Yeah.
And this is why I feel like, in my eyes, like no matter, I don't know, like these big fucking, I'm just saying, there's nobody that's doing what Justin's doing as far as everything he can for the up and coming breeders.
Yeah.
And I mean that by going to shows, giving people the insight on what he feels like is going to be hot. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need to do any of that shit. You know what I mean? And I do respect the people, like even Levance, right? So Levance, he goes to his Tinley home show just to show off his stuff. He might have a couple stuff for sale, but for the most part, all that shit not available. You know what I mean? And a lot of this says ask Levance. And like, even Levance does not need to show up to a show. Like, I feel like the ones that literally, because you don't understand how many people follow Levance, how many people follow Justin Gabelka, how many people follow these breeders that just show up and people just love to see their animals. That's giving back. That right there is creating that fucking goddamn group of people that are never going to stop fucking with you. I'm telling you right now, man, the ones that put themselves out there and show love to the ones that show love to them.
Yep.
That's key.
Yep. I'm with you.
Yep. All right. So listen, I have a wrap-up question, okay, before we get into the hot seat questions, Abe. And I just, I got to ask you, bro, if you were to come into this game right now, and let's scratch any of your past experience. I mean, obviously, you obviously keep it, right, as far as what you know, but like, let's just say you never kept snakes in the 90s, right? Yeah. And let's just say your fascination of ball pythons came within the last couple of years, and then now you get to a point where you got money ready to invest, right? So if we were at that point right now, what route would you feel like you would take? Well, like what's the way you would start? Like what first foot forward would you do in this game if you were to come in it right now?
It depends how much cash I have to play with.
Let's talk about, I mean, I don't know. Like, okay, realistically in your situation, like, let's just say, with your job and everything, with what you can afford right now, like in your mindset, like what avenues would you take?
So I would definitely buy visual recessive females. Of course, that's absolutely the first thing I would buy. And what genes? You want to get specific? Is that what's up?
No, what I'm just saying, okay, for instance, good point. You would buy visual females. And then for how long would you buy females until you buy a male? That's what I'm kind of getting at.
Probably a year. Knowing what I know now, I would wait a year, to at least to buy males, because you don't need them in the beginning. They're pointless. And they'll be less expensive when you need them. So there's no harm in waiting. But waiting for your females is the biggest mistake everybody makes, or they buy a bunch of boys and say, hey, I got 2 girls, they'll be fine. And I have these 6 boys. Like that happens to a lot of people. So me, if I were doing it now, I would stack the recessive females and kick back, raise them for a couple of years. And then you come in with a powerhouse male.
Right.
Simple formula. It really is. Just, you stack recessives, you grow them, you sit on them, you're patient. Then you go out and you buy the killers,
Right.
What's hot and what is relevant at that moment when your girls are ready to go, you go buy that boy. And in 9-10 months, hopefully you have him breeding and shit just falls into place. That's how I would do it. And it is kind of how I did it. I bought a bunch of girls and just sat on them. I didn't buy my first boy until 2 years in.
Right. Now, on another end of the spectrum, how about if you were just getting into this, what route would you take as far as approach to Instagram? Because now hold on, let me just say, Abe, we've had on the average at one point 80 people watching this. You have fucking people who support you. You have people, nice. And I know because I've seen it at shows. People really fuck with you, Abe, and I love it. So. Nice. How would you what's your advice for someone getting into this who doesn't know anybody, completely fucking just goddamn, I'm just here, I got some snakes and don't know what to do? What would be your first step into the social media game if you were just getting into this?
So I went through this firsthand. So I would tell them that they can't throw up random shit. It can't be shitty quality content. Okay. The bottom line is you have to take nice pictures. You have to make shit that grabs people's attention. You have to, if you're filming your snake, lay some tunes over the top of it. Do a reel on Instagram instead of just doing a basic picture. You got to make it grab people's attention. You got to use hashtags. You got to share other people's shit. That's something else. You got to help each other on Instagram. And that's what I've learned as I've been kind of up and coming through Instagram. You got to share other people's stuff. You got to show them props for the badass stuff they're doing. You can't just sit back and go, why am I not getting any followers? I took like 8 great pictures in the last few weeks and I'm not getting anything. It's because you're not making the effort to like other people's shit, to comment on their, to back up your brothers in this game and sisters. This is a community. You got to help each other and bring each other up. You can't sit back waiting for shit to come to you and think it's going to magically happen. So you got to put in the work of making yourself visible to these people, posting stuff often, make those posts relevant, make them spicy. You got to make them catchy so that they're not just boring, another picture that's just flying by. And you got to use good, relevant hashtags. And that's my best advice. You can't sit back. Like, I guess your advice, like you said, for YouTube, MJ, you can't just put up a picture or a story every 2 weeks. I've learned that you got to do a story basically every day. You got to post 4 to 5 times a week. You got to get a reel in there 1 or 2 times a week. All that shit compounds, and I've seen it. Like when I stay on top of my stuff on Instagram, like 2 weeks, if I'm just real consistent, boom, 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 everything starts jumping on its own. The algorithm kicks in and shit just works. But if I take a week off and I'm not feeling like taking pictures, I'll start losing followers. I'll fall out of the algorithm. So it's all about staying consistent and keeping people interested. That's what I would tell them.
And I'm going to capitalize on that also. Don't give a fuck how many followers so-and-so has. Like literally, even if your collection's sicker than theirs, who cares? Like literally get out of your own head, because I can't stand motherfuckers who are so dwelled on their following. And like, I'm just like, bro, like I just don't get it. And this is why I it's a touchy subject, because I know people close to me who bought followers, and I don't fucking understand what that did to them. I don't understand if that made them feel better, but I just don't feel like it's kind of like coming in here wanting something that you haven't worked for yet. Like at the end of the day, you don't come in here and say, I want a Pompeii. No, you got to wait years for that. Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, and I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, everyone has their own demons, and the biggest demon people have is their mind. People fucking brain fuck themselves. And I'm talking from experience. I'm just saying, and at the end of the day, that could take the fun out of things. You could literally be having the amazing collection, but you're so caught up on your fucking following that you're not having fun. And it's like, bro, just keep posting. Like, just keep posting. That's it.
That's it. Once I stopped really caring, MJ, once I really stopped caring about trying to develop my following and started just focusing more on putting more stuff out and quality stuff, it just happened on its own. It really did.
Yeah, that shit comes. I'm telling you right now, man, like the fact that you understand, I've had people on this show with big fucking thousands and thousands of followers, but they didn't get this much support in the live chats. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is a fucking following right here. You know what I mean? Yeah. You brought people who I haven't seen in this chats in quite a while. So I respect to you, Abe. I got to say, man, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I am honored that you're part of my Patreon page. I got to say that kind of fucking, that motivates me. The way you take care of me when I see you in Chicago motivates me. You just got to let me take care of you next time you're in Cali. And if you move here, bro, it's over.
I know.
That'd be epic. All right, listen. Hot seat questions time, okay, Abe? You're a player, bro. I don't expect you to drag this on.
Is one of the questions, what's my favorite band?
No. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's talk about a little bit of metal real quick. Hold on. Real quick. Now, I will say, Abe, myself, Matt, we all link together because we're metalheads. I'm not gonna say I'm as crazy as a metalhead as Matt Summers. Like, his dad bred him through metals his whole life, so respect to Matt. But what level of metalhead are you? I have to know, Abe. I'm
hardcore, so dude, I love it. Like, to me, and that's what I have in common with you and Matt and like Nazar from Massimo Reptiles. We're all metal guys, and To me, when I was real young, man, it started when I was 13 or 14. Metallica, stuff like that. And then then Pantera. I'll never forget, man. I was kicking on my couch one night watching Headbangers Ball. I was a little kid in high school, and Pantera, Cowboys from Hell came on, and that shit changed me. Like that one song, it really just opened up doors for me that I didn't know existed. And now, I love all metal. I'm a bass player, so I play bass. I have since I was 15 years old. I play metal bass. But I love any kind of bass. I like funky old shit like Stevie Wonder and like funky groovy stuff, Chili Peppers. But I also love like Primus, Rush, Zeppelin, like the classics, like I love playing all that stuff on the bass, but I also like slapping and popping and a lot of the new stuff. But now the bands I'm into right now are so different. Like right now I like the kind of metalcore stuff, I guess you could say. I love Gojira. I love Trivium, Kill Switch Engage. I love Kill Switch. Tool, Tool is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, Matt's going to Tool concert tomorrow.
He is. I know. I didn't know if it was tomorrow or the next day. I knew Tool's in California though this week. Tool to me is one of the best bands ever, man. Just absolutely awesome. But Rush and Zeppelin and Pantera,
9 Inch Nails.
Slayer, 9 Inch Nails. I love 9 Inch Nails. My wife and I, we saw 9 Inch Nails. We've seen them a few times. I'm a concert guy, man. So
yeah, I wish I was.
Dude, I've been to probably 200 or 300 concerts.
As much as I love music, I'm surprised I have not been to as many concerts as like you or Matt. Like Matt is a fucking concert junkie too. Like I want to change that. Matt, you're gonna start taking me to a lot more concerts.
You should go to this Tool show tomorrow night, man. Oh, MJ.
Yeah,
I saw them. I saw Tool in 2019 here in Chicago, actually in Milwaukee. And dude, best concert I've ever seen. I like seriously.
Where they at? Where they at, Matt? Do you know where are they in Los Angeles? I wonder where they're playing at tomorrow. Maybe I will go. Maybe see. I don't know. If they're probably sold out, but if they're not, I think I will go.
Dude, they're incredible. So, what's your favorite metal band?
I mean, I'm a maggot, bro. I've Slipknot. Okay, let me say.
Yeah.
My uncles are met. Like my uncle fucking Chuck was backup bass for Metallica from like 86 to like 89 on tour. Like literally,
what?
yeah, my uncle was a fucking legend, bro. But he had his own fucking death metal band called Dominics or the Dominics or something.
Okay.
So anyways, like I had that in my blood from a very young age, right? But what really hit me, like as far as like what metal fucking like did and helped me at an age of 14 years old was when I came across Slipknot. My mom and dad just split up. I had a lot of anger. I was really into a lot of Rage Against the Machine and like Limp Bizkit and Korn. Like I was new metal. It was kind of like,
dude, I love all those bands.
But like Slipknot just wiped these motherfuckers to shreds, bro. Like the aggression, the and understand, like I was a freshman in high school. And none of my I was a jock, so a lot of my guys were a lot of my homies were into rap. Like I didn't have any. I had one homie named Paul, who rest in peace. He's no longer here, but my homie Paul's the one who like he knew I liked rock or metal, but he gave me a Slipknot VHS video. He's like, "Hey, watch this," and that changed my life, bro. I couldn't stop watching that video, and literally, I had one of the best football seasons of my life, bro. I never put that the self-titled album was that played nonstop for I don't know how long, bro.
Nice.
And Wait and Bleed was like changed my life. But anyways, that kind of Slipknot got me into Parkway Drive and kind of some other like metal, like earlier or like later on like type shit. But I didn't really start getting into like Pantera and fucking like Slayer until like I started really getting into Slipknot. Like it was kind of like as I was getting older. So I'm not like an original metalhead. Like I respect all that shit, but like what kind of brought me to Slipknot was when I was into like Rage Against the Machine and like more the softer stuff. You know what I mean? I
love Rage though. Rage is great. They're like a hybrid of rap and funky, powerful metal. Like, dude, I love them. I saw them on their reunion tour like 4 years ago at Alpine Valley in Wisconsin. It was fucking crazy. It was like the best mosh pit I've ever been in my life. I almost died that night. I seriously almost died that night.
Dude, I shattered my literally ACL reconstruction, my knee completely gone at a mosh pit. Fucking minutes after I meet Matt Summers. So if whoever doesn't know this story, I say this all the time, but 2019 was it? But I had just started the Trap Talk sessions, like barely having things come out, and I go to a Slipknot show in San Bernardino with my buddy Tony. I have pit access. He didn't get pit, so I'm just like, all right, I guess I'm gonna be down here. Like I can't miss this, like I gotta be in the pit. And I'm just standing there. I have to take the biggest leak of my life. And I'm like shoulder to shoulder. I'm like, I can't leave. I have to sit here. The curtain's up, you know, and then we're just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like so out of my element. Like I'm in my element, but I'm like never been there before, you know? So next thing you know, I hear, hey, MJ. And I'm like, who the fuck would know me by MJ here? I was like, who? And I'm looking. He's like, and here's Matt. Hey, what's up, man? I follow you on YouTube, Snake Trap Sessions. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, I've never had that happen before. And I was like, dude, no way. Yeah, man. And we just literally started talking about episodes. And like, I was like, what do you have? And I found him on Instagram. And literally minutes after that fucking interaction with the homie Matt, the concert starts. Mosh pit starts moving in circles. What do? I jump in there, and I already have a fucked up knee. Just mind you, I jump up, come down on it, shatters. I'm on the ground, and I'm getting kicked in the middle. And I'm trying to stand up, and my knee just keeps collapsing. You know, I get picked up. Some fucking guy, like 6'6", bald head with like spike earrings, fucking picks me up by the shirt, fucking drags me out. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. He's like, sit down. And he like sat me down and gave me some water, and he called a medic. He was like the pit boss. Like, I guess they're pit bosses, you know. Nice. Looked out for me, and I was like, all right, that's all I need for there. And bro, oh my God, I'll never forget that. That was me, the story of meeting Matt Summers and the story of my first metal concert.
That's like when I was talking to you earlier today, MJ. Like, I think that's badass that you met me in a mosh pit at a concert. Like, that's a friendship that's meant to be forever, man. Who are you gonna meet in a fucking mosh pit that knows you, that you connect with for life, man? That's
and now he's my boy. Like, he goes with me to all my remote episodes. Like, he literally takes care of my shit, bro. He's my boy, dog. I'm telling you right now.
I like Matt a lot.
All because of why the animals, bro. This is why I preach to people to fucking put themselves out there, because you never know who you're gonna meet. Like, bro, like life-changing relationships. Look at my homies, Barcheck, Miguel, Abe. I got fucking sick-ass homies all because of the animals, bro. And I barely named fucking 2% of the homies I really have in this. It's nuts. I love this shit all because of the animals, bro. So, man. I don't know, man. We're in a good place, Abe. Plain and simple. What you have going on, I'm so happy for you, bro, because guess what? You had a taste of what you love, and you've always loved it. You stuck with it, and now you're here living out a dream, bro, that you had when you were a fucking kid.
Definitely. I love it. All
right, bro. Hot seat questions for the big homie Abe. And dude, coming in hot with these, bro. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
Don't pull a JP. I don't need none of that shit. Here we go. Hot seat questions for the homie Abe. Exotic reptiles. Frozen thought or live?
Both.
No, that's not the right start.
It has to be.
No, okay, listen. Here, check this out. Let's say.
Fine, frozen thought.
Thank you. That's I was gonna fuck Abe. You see,
all the hatchlings eat live.
Okay, A cut or no cut?
No cut.
Red Chondro Neo or yellow Chondro Neo?
Red.
Favorite codon morph?
Cypress.
Favorite recessive morph?
Desert Ghost.
Favorite double recessive morph?
Desert Ghost Clown.
Most money ever spent on a recessive gene?
$8,000.
Woo! Don't fuck with Abe. Damn, that's hard. Yay imports or boo imports?
I don't have any, so boo.
Okay, so boo. Okay, so you're gonna say fuck all the people who do have imports, right on?
No, I just don't have any. I thought you were asking me if I had some.
No, but like, let's just say the law landed on you to make. Would you say yay imports or boo imports?
Yay, I would say yay.
Okay. To spray a snake or to spray a ball python or to not spray a ball python?
Spray.
All right, that's what I thought. Big flex. Or wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Sports or no sports?
Sports.
Football or baseball?
Football.
Favorite football team?
Bears. What are you fucking?
The Bears. big flexor or no flexor?
I'm not really a flexor, honestly. I'm not.
All right. Steak or fish?
Steak.
Favorite cut of steak?
Filet.
Oh, nice. Okay. Alcohol or no alcohol?
No alcohol.
Straight. Okay. All right. All right. 9 Inch Nails or Marilyn Manson?
9 Inch Nails.
Respect. Okay. Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Van Halen.
West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
West.
Favorite West Coast rapper?
Snoop.
No, yes, I love Snoop. Nobody says Snoop.
Or Dre. It's got to be Snoop or Dre.
Come on. Nobody put it on the map like Snoop. I'm just saying.
No, for sure.
All right, little word association. First thing to come to mind: milk,
Cheese.
cocoa,
Butter.
stuck shed,
Humidity.
ovulation,
Incoming.
day 60.
No cut.
Wow! It's Instagram trolls.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
If you got to get rid of one platform forever, I mean forever, Facebook or Instagram, which one has to go, Abe?
Facebook goes. Yeah.
There you go. Fucking A, bro. Listen, thanks for giving me an amazing new breeder on the block series episode. I'm telling you, bro. I mean, fuck, how many likes do we have? A lot. I mean, if you
I
have
can't
that,
see any of that.
93.
I can't see any of that because I'm in the in the so I can't see the comments. None of that.
Mad respect, guys. Thank you so much. Because like I said, we had about 80 people at one point. We have 93 likes, all for you, bro. The like to view ratio is through the roof. So bottom line, what do you have to say to all of your supporters, everyone who's here to watch you win? What do you have to say to everybody, bro?
I just want to thank everyone. Starting off with you too, MJ. Thanks for inviting me onto the show, having me on, supporting me, dude. You know, I appreciate you very much. And thanks for everybody who's kind of followed me on this journey. It's been crazy. It's been fun. And it ain't stopping, man. I'm on this fucking train and it's rolling. So roll on it with me.
Let's go, baby, or get rolled over.
Get rolled over. Yep.
Dude, Abe, you're the man, bro. I'll be talking to you soon because guess what?
Yeah.
Abe's going to be a part of a show here in the near future. Just stay tuned. I don't want to tell you too much, but it's for a big one. And I got to say, Abe, your support, like I said, with you following me, you being a Patreon member, you being on this show, all that means everything to me. And, bro, you are trap certified for life. Thank you so much, bro.
Appreciate
Abe fucking Exotic Reptiles, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, brother. Hey, I'll see you in March at Tinley, right?
See you March at Tinley for sure, 110%. Hey, you got me covered? You got me covered as usual?
I got you.
All right. All right, talk to you soon, Abe. Have a good night, bro.
Later, everyone. Thanks for checking in. Peace.
Respect. Fuck, what a good guy, man. This is the kind of shit I love about this hobbies because you bring people into this who have either past experience or they just gain a lot of experience that gives them excitement to want to do big things. Abe, hats off to you, my man. I have a good feeling you're about to do some major fucking damage with your projects, and it's just a matter of time before this shit gets revealed. I appreciate everyone, dude. Honestly, the likes, wow, respect. I'm going to say that right now because, like I said, it's not about me. It's about the fucking guest. And Abe just laid down some serious game for a lot of you fucking newcomers, okay? Because this guy's on his way. I'm telling you right now. I have a good feeling about him. That being said, guys, I want to let you guys know this Thursday night, I need all my chondro fanatics to be ready to tap in because I've been trying to get this guy on a show for a while. COVID happened and, you know, he has a family and he got hit with a little bit of sickness, not him personally, but in his family. And things just didn't work out. And I'm telling you right now, this is a guy who really helped me spark the chondro fucking fire that I have that's never going to fucking be put out. And this guy is Ian Bessel. Make sure you guys tap in this Thursday night. It's going down 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm telling you right now, when it comes to these chondros, production-wise, number-wise, when I say number, the amount of chondros being produced in a year, nobody's producing more than Ian Bessel. Right now, I'm telling you right now, this guy has this shit locked in like it's fucking nothing. And it's crazy to think that because this is not an easy species to breed. And Ian's methods, Ian's system, what Ian's been doing is fucking something you guys got to check out. We got to hear what he has to say. He also works with Amazon boas. He also has emeralds. He has a bunch of stuff, man. He's repping Florida, go figure. But that's my man Ian Bessel. Be ready to tap in. And for everyone who came here to support Abe, RCR Mafia, thanks for tapping in. You guys are awesome. I wish the head boss was here, but tell him I love him anyways. But guys, thank you so much for supporting my homie Abe. Appreciate all my trappers out there, all my Patreon members. I'll see you guys here in the near future. And yeah, man, you guys have a good night. And this is MJ tapping out.